Back to the second week of the season, and the Cardinals stunned the Eagles 26-10, looking to sweep their season series for the first time in 7 years. And the Cardinals, almost to a man, feel they match up very well against Philadelphia, Merlin.
Dick, I think that's true. They seem to play well against the Eagles, but I don't think they can count on the big plays they got in that earlier game. Huge pass plays, and 6 times they took the ball away from the Eagles. Since that time, and in that game, by the way, they destroyed the Eagles' offensive line. Since that time, Richie Kotite said the one thing we've done is to shore up our offensive line. Even though we're playing 3 rookies in and out of that offensive line, it's much better than it was early.
Merlin, we have an interesting contrast with the 2 quarterbacks, neither of whom were starters when the season began. Stan Gelbaugh, yesterday when we talked with him, had a London Monarchs hat, and of course he led them to the World League Championship and was MVP. He's much traveled. And Jim McMahon, who has fought off a lot of injuries, he had a stimulator hanging from his elbow under his sweatshirt, and he has not practiced now for the 2nd straight week.
That's very true. Obvious contrast, and there's no question in my mind that Gelbaugh is still a journeyman quarterback. If he were a great quarterback, he'd still be in Dallas or Buffalo or Cincinnati or Kansas City. Had tryouts with all of those teams. And those WLAF credentials are not going to impress this Eagles defense. He's going to have to earn their respect today. Well, Jim McMahon has earned everyone's respect, and he is a real warrior. He said that elbow is feeling much better today than it has in the last 2 weeks.
Cardinals have won the toss, and the Eagles will kick off. Roger Ruzek will do the honors, and Larry Centers is the deep man along with Anthony Edwards for Phoenix. And the kick is heading over, and in the end zone it's Larry Centers, and he will down it for the touchback. And the Cardinals will have the ball. Stan Gelbaugh making his 2nd NFL start. One of those Merlin quarterbacks who have made it in the NFL. An offensive line, a big one, but they have been shaky. Louis Sharp, Vernon Smith, Bill Lewis, Lance Smith, and Tootie Robbins. Walter Reeves is the tight end. Johnny Johnson is the running back, and the H-back is Ricky Prohl, and 2 wide receivers, Ernie Jones and Randall Hill. He's got a lot of speed. 1st and 10 from the 20 for the Cardinals. And they give it to Johnny Johnson, and Johnson gets a yard, fumbles, and the Cardinals recover. Ricky Prohl was alert and picked up the loose ball after a gain of about a yard. Number 1 in the league defensively across the board. Against the run, against the pass, and overall, led by the defensive line of Reggie White, Jerome Brown, Mike Pitts, and Clyde Simmons. And the linebackers, underrated many ways, with Seth Joyner, Byron Evans, and William Thomas, the rookie. And in the secondary, Izell Jenkins and Eric Allen are the cornerbacks. Wes Hopkins, who had an outstanding game against the Bengals, and Andre Waters. 2nd down and 8, and the pass is caught by Randall Hill. He is tackled immediately, however, by Eric Allen, and they'll still be shy of a 1st down, a pickup of 4 yards.
The very good news for this Eagles defense is that Reggie White, who had what appeared to be a serious knee injury in that game last week, told me just before the ball game he is not feeling the effects of that. Very comfortable. Said he didn't feel that was going to bother him on the field today. Amazing. If you saw that knee open up last week, that he's out there without a wrap or a brace today.
3rd down and 4. Larry Centers is the running back with 3 wide receivers for the Cardinals. Gelbaugh getting a rush, and he can run for the 1st down and will. Depends on where they spot the ball. It was Seth Joyner who chased Gelbaugh, and it was Mike Pitts who forced Gelbaugh out of the pocket, and it is a Cardinal 1st down.
The Eagles loaded the middle of the line. They put Reggie White on the nose. Gelbaugh sees things breaking down. Pitts in pursuit along with Golick, and this young quarterback can run. He proves it here as he scrambles for that 1st down.
Gelbaugh, native of Carlisle, Pennsylvania. That's the training camp of the Redskins, who lost their 1st game of the season. And a 1st down on the 30-yard line. And we'll have a whistle and a delay of the game penalty against the Cardinals.
Gelbaugh not quite comfortable.
Offense, 5 yards, still 1st down.
This Cardinal offense is going to try and come out and attack with everything they have today. No holds barred today. They're going for the whole bag.
So we may see some razzle-dazzle out there. 6 defensive backs for the Eagles on 1st and 15, and the give is to Johnny Johnson. On the draw play, and Johnson picks up 10 yards.
Bill Lewis.
The tackle is made by Wes Hopkins.
Sorry, Dick. Bill Lewis is playing at center with a cast on his right thumb and a brace on his right wrist. And there's Reggie White locked up nose to nose with him. And it's Johnny Johnson streaking through on the draw play for good yardage.
2nd down and 5. The ball is at the Cardinal 35-yard line. First series of the game. And Johnny Johnson goes nowhere. And clogging the middle was Clyde Simmons. The whistle had blown. There is no fumble. Simmons making the play after a gain of 1 yard. And that'll bring up 3rd down and about 4 for the Cardinals, whose last victory was against the Atlanta Falcons back on October the 20th.
The one thing that Joe Bugle and Jerry Rome talked about in regards to young Stan Gelbaugh is the fact that he has a quick trigger. He really can unload that football. They're going to count on him getting that ball out of there and getting it deep.
He's going to have to against this Eagle pressure. 3rd down and 5. Gelbaugh has time, gets hit. It's up for grabs, and the pass is intercepted by John Booty, running it back inside the 35 and out of bounds at the 30-yard line. So one of the nickelbacks, John Booty, picks one off on a flutter ball and returns it 23 yards for the Eagles, who threaten in Cardinal territory, and that's Booty's first interception of the season.
Seth Joyner is coming on the blitz along with Reggie White, and they get there just in time to smash Gelbaugh as that arm is coming forward. A great play. That ball hung up, and Booty, watch the concentration. He goes up in the crowd and pulls that ball down to break to the sideline. That's the kind of defensive play that has the Eagles number 1.
First down for the Eagles on the Cardinal 30 following the turnover. Keith Byers is the one back, 2 tight ends for the Eagles. Byers with the carry, and he picks up about a yard. The Eagles running much better in the last 3 weeks of the season. Jim McMahon, of course, has also passed for prolific yardage, but looking at the offensive front, and much improved for Philadelphia despite the changes. Heller, McKnight, Alexander, Solt, Davis the rookie, and Keith Jackson the tight end. Byers and James Joseph, the rookie, has looked very good at running back, and Fred Barnett and Calvin Williams back in tandem and healthy once again.
They ran at Ken Harvey. That's what Richie Kotite wanted to do, try and intimidate that outside linebacker, and he hurt them early in the year.
2nd down and 9. This time McMahon's pass was intended for Barnett, thrown a bit high, and Lorenzo Lynch was the closest man to it. Up front for the Cardinals, Jeff Faulkner, Jim Waller, and Craig Patterson. The defensive line, Freddie Joe Nunn, Tyrone Stowe, Eric Hill, and Harvey. As Merlin mentioned, Nunn and Harvey are the big pass rushers. Rookie Aeneas Williams and Lynch are the cornerbacks, and Michael Zordich and All-Pro Tim McDonald the safeties.
Dick, in the last 2 ball games, McMahon has had a little trouble with his timing, and basically because he has not been able to throw during the week. He got better last week as the game wore on, but you saw in that last play he's off here at the beginning today.
3rd and 9. Eric Swan, the rookie, is now in a tackle, the number 1 pick. And we'll have a penalty marker down and maybe a free play as McMahon gets it over to Barnett, which would be good enough for a first down for the Eagles. And let's see whether the Eagles drew off the Cardinal who jumped.
Eric Swan was just too eager on the nose, so excited about getting in there that he could not restrain himself and actually banged heads with the center just before the snap.
Offsides, number 96 on the defense. That penalty is declined. First down.
It's Eric Swan who's wearing number 98. But you're right, Swan getting a chance, had 2 sacks last week against the 49ers. Remember, he was the 6th pick in the draft after not playing college football.
Well, at 316 pounds, and he may be a few over that. He just picked up Jesse Sapolo last week and plunked him down on top of the quarterback. And that's what he's going to try to do today, just overpower the Eagles in the middle of that offensive line.
1st and 10 on the 18. James Joseph is in the game for the first time and gets the call on 1st down. And he's hit by Michael Zordich, the free safety. And just may get back to the line of scrimmage.
Ron Salt late getting over. He was the pulling guard. Did not get over there in time to make the trap. Take a peek at that. As Salt is pulling across in front of that play. Watch the pulling guard come out, number 66, as he moves across in front of the play. But Joseph, the running back, gets there ahead of the trapper. Well, nothing to do but head up into the hole without protection, and not much yardage at all there.
The Eagles come out with 2 tight ends with Maurice Johnson, who's been playing a lot lately, along with Jackson. 2nd down and 10. Jackson goes in motion and a play fake for McMahon. Receivers are covered, but McMahon has a lot of time. Fires, and it's caught. That should be a touchdown to Fred Barnett.
What an amazing play by Jim McMahon. He wanted Barnett all the way. Watched him into the left corner where he was double covered, and then because of great blocking up front by that offensive line, had time to wait for Barnett to come all the way across the back of the end zone and then hit him with a perfect pass.
That's Barnett's 4th touchdown reception of the year, an 18-yard strike from McMahon, and it was set up by the interception by John Booty. And now Roger Ruzek with the punter Jeff Feagles to hold to try to give the Eagles an early lead. And Ruzek, who has missed just 1 conversion, has given the Eagles a 7-0 lead, and tell you, no quarterback has ever had more time than McMahon did there.
Absolutely gorgeous, but a perfect strike.
That's Fritz Shermer and the Cardinal defense. 7-0 the Eagles lead as McMahon found Barnett in the corner of the end zone from 18 yards out, and now McMahon is talking to Heath Sherman over on the sideline. By the way, Craig Patterson finally took quite a shot at McMahon after he let go of that pass, but Jim appears to be all right.
Every time he gets hit, the Philadelphia coaches and players, their hearts stop momentarily. He's had so many injuries and just keeps coming back and playing and hitting those unbelievable shots week after week.
Roger Ruzek will kick off for the Eagles, and Larry Centers and Anthony Edwards are back deep for the Cardinals. This is a returnable kick. Larry Centers, a yard in the end zone. And Centers brings it out to about the 22-yard line, and making the tackle was Ken Rose for the Eagles.
Let's go back and look at that touchdown. Barnett is going to run a post corner pattern and end up back here being double covered. But with time, he works all the way across to the other side of the end zone. As this play develops, notice how much time McMahon has. Barnett, there's no way he can get it there, but Barnett turns and comes all the way across the back of the end zone, and then McMahon fires the perfect strike.
Cardinals with a first down on the 22, trailing 7-0. Gelbaugh getting rushed, and the pass is caught by the tight end Reeves, who is wide open, and that'll be good enough for a Cardinal first down. A 13-yard pickup with Andre Waters covering on the play. Waters was fined $7,500. We were both singing that same song.
Mutual thought there.
After his altercation with Eric Martin after the game with the Saints several weeks ago.
Of course, he was fined $10,000 for a shot on Rich Gannon back in 1989, so this is not his first bat.
Hardly. Anthony Thompson is the setback, and he gets the call on first down. Fumbles. And it's the Eagles, Seth Joyner, and he'll run it in for the touchdown, and there are no penalty flags down. One of the Eagles is shaken up, and that's Reggie White, and he has yet to get up.
Remember, it's the right knee, and he is up on his feet at this moment, but great celebration. Watch the hit. Anthony Thompson struggling for extra yardage inside. You get the initial hit right there, a second hit, and it's the third hit that knocks the ball loose. Wes Hopkins, number 48, put his helmet right on the ball, and it jumped right up. There's the hit coming. Watch now as Hopkins streaks across, puts his helmet right on the football, and it took the perfect hop for Seth Joyner.
Roger Ruzek looking to add the 14th point with just under 8 minutes to go in the first quarter, and he does. So Seth Joyner, with a penalty marker, is down. Joyner, with the fumble recovery, ran 34 yards for the score, and that's the second touchdown fumble recovery of Joyner's career. But let's see what this penalty is. Our referee today is Red Cashin.
Now they're indicating a holding call, which will make this more of a field goal than an extra
Holding
point.
before the kick. Number 52 of the offense. 10 yards, we'll kick it again.
That's Jesse Small, and they're working on Reggie White's left eye.
Good news. That's relief. That's relief.
So this kick will be, in essence, a 25-yard field goal. Reggie White, as you know, banged up in a collision with William Thomas on an interception against the Bengals last week as he hurt his knee out, also got kicked in the head. So Ruzek will kick from the 20. This will be a 30-yard conversion. Eagles is holding. And this kick is no good. It's off to the left. So it is now 13-0 as the Eagles don't get the extra point. Joyner with a 34-yard run, and the turnovers went Phoenix's way in the first meeting, so far the other way today. Back at Sun Devil Stadium, Dick Stockton and Merlin Olsen. The Eagles lead 13-0. Roger Ruzek kicking off now for the third time in the first 7 minutes of the game. But he has missed his second conversion of the contest of the season moments ago. Anthony Edwards is back deep along with Larry Centers. And this is 5 yards in the end zone, and the Cardinals will start from the 20-yard line. Keep in mind that they had fumbled after the whistle before the interception by Booty. And then the Joyner recovery for the touchdown.
Reggie White injured last week in a collision, and you wonder as you watch the replay of that play, watch number 92 as he comes back to intercept and then take the shot right on his knee. Here's the close-up of that particular play as you see Reggie back, and watch the right knee hyperextended at that point. William Thomas, the player who ran into him, said Reggie stole his interception.
He has done that a lot. First down on the 20, and a quick release, and the pass is caught by Ricky Prohl. And that's what the Cardinals are going to have to do to get away from the Eagles' rush, and a gain of 9 yards.
Looks like they moved the chains on him and pick up a first down on that one, Dick, as he's knocked out of bounds. Ricky Prohl, the veteran receiver, of course, with J.T. Smith gone and Roy Green on the other side of the line playing for the Eagles.
First down on the Cardinal 35. It is a first down, according to the chains. Johnny Johnson is the lone back, and he's going to run for the first down as he brings it out to the 39-yard line. Mike Golick making the tackle for the Eagles, who have rotated their defensive tackles all year. Jerome Brown, Mike Pitts, and Mike Golick.
Well, right now, Dick, they're playing one-on-one in the middle as they're covering all three people. A bear look, and that's Reggie White in the middle. He's matched up on Bill Lewis, and we mentioned moments ago that Lewis has got a wrist all banged up on the left side and a thumb broken on the right side, so you can see why they're trying to isolate him.
Second down and 5, and another quick toss, and it's caught and ridden out of bounds to Jackson, John Jackson, and Otis Smith, who is the nickelback, with Ben Smith on injured reserve with torn ligaments, and Izell Jenkins moving into the starter's role. More pressure on first-year Otis Smith, and that's a 10-yard gain and another Cardinal first down as they are just shy of midfield.
Gelbaugh playing extremely well in this drive as his timing is excellent. This setup offensively much like, in fact, exactly like the Washington Redskins.
First down at midfield. Gelbaugh will run on a quarterback draw. And he's got another Cardinal first down. Wes Hopkins was there after the slide, and a gain of 13 yards for Stan Gelbaugh.
The mobility of a quarterback, such a premium. He ran a draw like this last week against the San Francisco 49ers, comes back, finds big room, and picks up the first here. Tim Rosenbaugh, of course, absent, was exactly that kind of quarterback. In fact, the second leading ground gainer among quarterbacks in the NFL.
First down on the 38-yard line. Another pass is caught, this time by Jackson again, but he is hit immediately by Wes Hopkins, and a small gain of 3 yards. But already you see that the Cardinals, as Merlin mentioned, will pull out all the stops. You saw a quarterback draw. I'm sure we'll see some reverses along the way, maybe a flea flicker. And the big thing for Gelbaugh, Merlin, the quick release to the receivers and backs coming out.
He really held on to the football last week in the first half of that game against the 49ers. And of course the Eagles drooled when they saw that. Played better in the second half, and he's getting it unloaded here today.
The Eagles playing a 4-1-6 defense with Joyner, the lone linebacker, on second down and 7. And another quick toss, and this is incomplete. Eric Allen was the closest to it, and it was between two receivers.
In the middle of that line, Bill Lewis, the center, such a critical performer, but with that broken right thumb, he's having to snap the ball left-handed. A normal right-handed summer, you see the right thumb all bandaged up the left hand now. He damaged that wrist, but he has to snap the ball with his left hand. That bothers his stance. He's able to get it back somehow. Gelbaugh looked like had a handful of John Booty had a handful of Gelbaugh's face mask on that last play. Forced the bad pass. But there are the damaged hands of the center. Amazing that he's still out there.
Third down and 7. Cardinals trail 13-0. Gelbaugh has some time, and his pass is caught by Randall Hill, and that'll be a first down for the Big Red beyond the 20-yard line. A gain of 14. Miano on the stop. Acquired from the Dolphins for a #1 draft pick.
He's probably the most improved player during this season on this Cardinal team. Learning how to be disciplined, learning how to run his patterns. And Jerry Rome said he has far better hands and more courage than we ever believed he'd have.
Two tight ends for the Cardinals. 1st and 10 as they drive on the Eagles. They're on the 22 of Philadelphia. Thomas trying to get to Gelbaugh. Penalty marker down, and the pass intended for Ricky Prohl was broken up by Andre Waters. But there is a flag right around the line of scrimmage, and we'll hear from Red Cashin. And it'll be against the Eagles.
Offside. Number 59 of the defense. 5 yards, still first down.
Linebacker Seth Joyner, so a 5-yard penalty marked off.
So far in this drive, the Cardinals doing exactly what they had to do. They need to get a touchdown. You give the Eagles room to start playing all their games defensively and to pick at you offensively, you're going to be in for a long afternoon.
Joe Bugel said if we fall behind 10-0, we're in a big hole. They're down 13-0 right now. First down and 5. Gelbaugh getting a rush from Thomas, but he completes the pass to Jordan. And Tim Jordan has it inside the 5-yard line.
Again, they've loaded the nose to try and isolate Bill Lewis. They know he can't hold with both hands like that, but he does a great job of neutralizing and even gets a hold of Reggie White's face mask for a moment, using every trick that this veteran has learned to try and protect his quarterback.
Cardinals pick up 14 on that play to Jordan, and now it'll be 1st and goal on the 3-yard line. Ron Wolfley joins Johnny Johnson in the I formation.
60. Brown 60.
And a play action pass wide open and touchdown to Willie Williams, an eligible receiver.
Don't let that 60 number fool you. He was a tight end at LSU. He's put on about 25 pounds, but Willie Williams hasn't forgotten how to catch the football.
Normally he's a guard, but he got behind the defense and he beat Seth Joyner for a 3-yard touchdown catch to bring the Cardinals back here in this first quarter. Greg Davis, who has been successful on all his conversions this year. Jim Jordan is the holder, and the kick is good. Willie Williams will never forget that reception.
He is celebrating.
And it is now the Eagles 13, the Cardinals 7. That's Willie Williams, all 300 pounds of him, and as Merlin mentioned, was a tight end at LSU and used mostly as a blocker, but he did catch 13 passes and 1 touchdown while at LSU, and now he has caught a touchdown pass in the NFL.
You know, he's going to celebrate all the way into tomorrow. Of course, he'll be much happier if the Cardinals can add some other points to that total. Remember, they're still down by 6 on the scoreboard.
Greg Davis kicking off. And back deep, Rod Harris and Heath Sherman for the Eagles. Sherman is on the left. And it's headed for Rod Harris at the 2-yard line. Breaks outside, has a couple of men to beat, and a fine return by Rod Harris as he is ridden out of bounds by Aeneas Williams after a 34-yard return.
Let's take a peek at that touchdown. Williams right here. It's not a big deal. He just streaks into the corner of the end zone, and Seth Joyner is going to try and get over along with one of the backs, but both are late. Both are late reacting here. Joyner up inside, and he's the man who should have been there along with one of the backs, but I think the 60 number confused the backs on that play.
First down on the 34 for the Eagles, and how happy can that lineman, tight end, be? Joseph cutting inside, picks up about 5 yards. By the way, the kickoff return by Rod Harris was the Eagles' longest of the season at 34 yards. Ken Harvey and Jim Waller that time made the stop on James Joseph. Joseph has been an impressive rookie and a 7th-round pick out of Auburn, who the Eagles say have become a big force for them in what has been a paltry rushing attack in recent years.
Well, they plan to use him at 222 pounds along with Byers at 238. That's an elephant backfield. We'll see the two of them together.
Second down and 5. McMahon's toss and nearly intercepted and right in the hands of Tyrone Stowe. He couldn't have gotten a better opportunity. He dropped it, and it will go as an incompleted pass, bringing up 3rd down.
And this is exactly what McMahon is worried about today. Having not thrown in practice now for 3 weeks, McMahon's timing on some of those patterns where it normally would be automatic is going to be off. Jackson was open on that play. McMahon flicked it over his head, and it was almost intercepted.
McMahon said he has an idea about where he has to throw the ball depending on how far down the receiver is. But that was just an errant toss. 3rd down and 5. Roy Green is in as a 3rd wideout on the shotgun. McMahon's pass is incomplete. Calvin Williams was the intended receiver. No flags down, and Robert Massey covering on the play, and that'll bring up 4th down.
A sparse but vocal crowd here today, and they appreciated that defensive stand.
35,000 fans in attendance as John Jackson goes back deep, and Jeff Fiegels will kick. Does not get off a good kick.
Go, John, go!
And Jackson's going to let that bounce, and it will go out of bounds at the 11-yard line. It was not a good kick by Fiegels, who dropped a ball last week in trying to punt against the Bengals. A 50-yard kick once it stopped rolling. Tempe, Arizona, Sun Devil Stadium, half filled this afternoon as the Cardinals trail 13-7, but they're in a hole as they start from the 11-yard line. Anthony Thompson is the one running back, 2 tight ends for the Cardinals. Gelbaugh going deep and overthrowing Ernie Jones, who is double covered downfield by both Izell Jenkins and Andre Waters.
Izell Jenkins in, of course, in place of the injured Ben Smith.
Shocker today in the nation's capital as the Dallas Cowboys ended the Washington Redskins' undefeated string at 11, winning 24-21. There are the other scores. The Giants winning, of interest to Eagle fans in that wild card chase. 2nd down and 10. Gelbaugh going deep, and a receiver, Ricky Proehl, got turned around. And they weren't on the same page on that one. Gelbaugh right now has completed 8 of 11 for 74 yards, has a touchdown pass, and has also thrown an interception.
Joe Bugel told us yesterday he's been disappointed in this offensive line 2 ways. Their ability to run block, but also in their pass protection. But he said he was going to try and take advantage of their pass protection ability today to set up the run. And the success that Gelbaugh had in that first drive may do exactly that.
3rd down and 10 on the 11. There's a 5-man rush, and on Gelbaugh, and in the end zone, a fumble, and it's recovered for a touchdown by Clyde Simmons after Seth Joyner had come in unmolested to force the fumble. And the Eagles have scored 3 touchdowns, 2 as a result, direct result of turnovers, and another on a drive after a turnover to take a lead now of 19-7.
From the left side of your screen, they say the turnovers even out on the year. Watch number 55. No one even touches Joyner. He smothers Gelbaugh. The ball pops free, and Clyde Simmons is there for the gravy as he picks up the fumble for a 7-pointer.
19-7 now with 1:41 remaining in the first quarter, and Roger Ruzek will attempt the extra point. Who would have thought in 1 quarter of football we would have Willie Williams, a guard, catch a touchdown pass, Seth Joyner score as a result of a fumble recovery, in Clyde Simmons? Where are the backs and wide receivers?
The officials, I think, reviewing that play to see if the quarterback was down before the ball came loose. In that case, it would be a safety, but it looked like the ball was free. There it is, well before the knee hits the ground. And just a moment ago, it was Joyner getting the great bounce and the touchdown. Now it's Joyner providing the impetus. The ball out right there before the knee hits the ground, and Clyde Simmons saying, "Thank you very much."
Clyde Simmons, who is 3rd in the NFL in quarterback sacks and looking for Pro Bowl recognition, which he should get, scoring his 4th NFL touchdown if it is upheld by the replay folks.
Following the review by the replay official, the play stands. It's a touchdown.
It is a touchdown. So Joyner caused the fumble, and Clyde Simmons scores the touchdown to make it 19-7. And Roger Ruzek now to try to add the 20th point. He missed one from 20 yards the last time, but this one is perfect, and it is now 20-7 in favor of Philadelphia. You knew when Gelbaugh was back at about the 10-yard line and that great defense rushing at him, that bad things would happen to him.
I think maybe that long drive and Gelbaugh's early success gave this Eagle defense their wake-up call. They came back with a vengeance on that last series and picked up the 7 points.
Merlin, we talked about Clyde Simmons looking to get into the Pro Bowl, and the best defensive line in the NFL is this Philadelphia group. But let's go back and look at the NFL history of teams that have sent the most defensive linemen to the Pro Bowl. 69 Vikings sent all 4 of their defensive linemen. And I guess you could speak for a couple because your name is down on 2 of those Rams teams.
Well, great teams, the Purple People Eaters, the Fearsome Foursome, and then moving along the Steel Curtain. I mean, all those guys with great nicknames, along with that group, a later version of the Fearsome Foursome. And, of course, the San Diego Chargers with some great defensive linemen. There's no question in my mind right now that Reggie White, Jerome Brown, and Clyde Simmons should be in the Pro Bowl. They've had fantastic seasons, and I think Simmons probably should have been there 2 years ago. There's a good chance that because of that, there's going to be an alertness out there among the voters who will give him an opportunity he richly deserves.
Simmons, by the way, with that touchdown, that marks the 4th straight year that he has scored a touchdown. Larry Centers, one of the 2 deep men for the Cardinals. Roger Ruzek will kick for the 4th time in this first quarter. That's the 4th kickoff. He's had a few extra point attempts. Larry Centers on the 3-yard line. And Centers, who was out for 4 weeks with a broken bone in his foot, returns at 21 yards. And Bruce Plummer making the tackle. Well, we want to remind you we've got exciting football action coming up this week. Thanksgiving Day, it all begins with the NFL Today at noon Eastern time, and we've got one heck of a matchup coming up in NFC Central battle between the first place Chicago Bears and the Detroit Lions, who won today. And coming into today's action, the Lions were trailing the Bears by 2 games, and they'll play at the Silverdome, and it all begins at noon Eastern on Thanksgiving Day with the NFL Today. First down on the 24. Gelbar pass to Centers, and he fumbled it, and it's recovered again by the Eagles, unless it was blown dead, but it wasn't, and it's Philadelphia ball again. Can you imagine how this first quarter has gone with 4 turnovers? It was Eric Allen who picked up that fumble.
Well, in that earlier game, the Eagles gave the ball to the Cards 6 times. They turned it over 6 times to the Cards. Well, the Cards seem to be returning the favor. Watch Centers now. Locates the football, but takes the shoulder right to the ball, and that was stripped away clearly before he hit the ground.
There's the end of that play, and as you mentioned, Merlin, in their first meeting, it was the Eagles that turned it over 6 times, and it looks like the Cardinals want to match that total in the first quarter the way they're going.
Well, the last time we saw the Eagles, they had 11 sacks against the Cowboys. Maybe they're out to set another record today.
20 points off of the turnovers and a chance for more, with the Eagles getting the ball on the 42.
A fumble and then a recovery by the defense. The play is being reviewed.
They're reviewing it, and he definitely did fumble.
Dick, we of course had a chance to listen to some conversation about the dissatisfaction over the review process and over what's being done with instant replay. I think, and we can talk about it later, there's a chance to put the responsibility back on the field by letting the coaches ask for that and using a timeout if they're wrong.
Eagles with a first down on the Cardinal 42-yard line. 2 tight ends. McMahon going deep, and it is intercepted by Lorenzo Lynch, a former teammate of Jim McMahon's. He picks it off in the end zone for a touchback.
And McMahon, who has, as we mentioned, not thrown in practice for 3 weeks, had a ball that could have been intercepted moments ago, and on the deep pass, clearly offline, as he puts it right in the hands of Lorenzo Lynch.
Second interception of the year for Lynch, as McMahon was going to go for 7 right here to Barnett, but it was not a well-thrown ball.
And Barnett better get in there and be a defensive back. He's got to go in and fight for that football. You let your quarterback down when you don't go after the football and try and knock it out of his hands.
Cardinals get it back, trailing the Eagles 20-7 on the 20-yard line. Gelbaugh on first down. And Hopkins rolls Centers down, and there's a penalty marker down at the line of scrimmage after a pickup of only 3, and it'll be holding against the red-shirted Cardinals.
Tootie Robbins tackled Reggie White. Tackled him. I mean, threw him down. Those are a couple of 300-pounders banging heads.
Holding, number 63 on the offense, 10 yards, still first down.
Last week against the 49ers, when the Cardinals were driving for a touchdown that might have won, Robbins was called for holding as well.
Watch the outside rush right here. And Reggie White blasts Tootie right there, number 63, throws him away, and Tootie just hangs on and tackles Reggie.
First down and 20, back to the 10-yard line. Under a minute to play in the first quarter. Gelbaugh trying to get some of it back. He was trying to go to Ernie Jones. It was another flutter pass. And that will bring up second down. So Gelbaugh is under siege inside his 10-yard line as he was moments ago.
And after a very confident start, a tremendous opening drive. Gelbaugh was 8 for 10 on that drive. Suddenly the pressure has this young quarterback, and we mentioned he is just a young quarterback, shaky.
He was drafted in 1986 on the 6th round by the Dallas Cowboys, and he has been a much-traveled warrior since then. Second down and 20. Roll out, being chased by several Eagles, and this pass to Ernie Jones is out of bounds. They rule that he was not inbounds with 2 feet. Eric Allen was covering.
Eric Allen there to help the officials with that officiating responsibility. Watch the sideline now. 1 foot down just inside, and the second foot clearly out. Good job by the officials.
And they shouldn't even review this, although I have a feeling lately, Merlin, that they are reviewing almost everything, and that is becoming a kind of a maneuver that is killing the rhythm of a football game.
It certainly is, Dick. And the thing I mentioned about putting the responsibility on the sideline, letting the coaches call that, you could still keep the machinery in place, and yet you wouldn't have to stop the play continually on the field.
I want to know more about your plan in a little while. Third down and 20. Gelbaugh's pass, and that was nearly intercepted. That was right in the hands.
We got a fight down on the far side. They're almost in the stands.
In the end zone. Jimmy Johnson.
Jimmy Johnson is down there duking it out.
Johnny Johnson, the running back, and one of the Eagles, I don't know who that is, scrapping. I mean, right in front of the fans in the first row. John Booty, I believe, maybe in the middle of that. It'll be fourth down. Bears are leading the Dolphins 7-0 in the second quarter. They'll play the Lions on Thanksgiving Day right here on CBS. And it's fourth down, and Booty and Johnny Johnson tangling. That is broken up, and now kicking will be Rich Camarillo. His first kick of the day. Ron Harris is deep for Philadelphia, and a beautiful kick by Camarillo. And Harris is ridden out of bounds short of midfield. Camarillo has been one of the pluses for the Cardinals, a super punter, and that one sailed 56 yards.
But when a head coach has to say, but our punter has done a good job, you know his team is having difficulties, and that was one of the comments by Joe Bugle yesterday.
You like to hear about your quarterback or your offensive line?
Yeah, talk about how they're getting all the sacks and how they're scoring the touchdowns, not, hey, our punter is doing a great job.
Well, you know, at least Joe Bugle has remained positive amidst this 4-8 season.
Well, and with Tim Rosenbaugh, this would be an entirely different team. His main job is keeping them up, not letting them quit during this difficult season.
Good field position for the Eagles on the 48-yard line, and on first down, James Joseph picks up a couple, and that will be the last play of the first quarter, and a weird first quarter indeed, with turnovers, 4 by the Cardinals, 1 by the Eagles, and linemen and linemen and linebackers scoring touchdowns all over. And that is the end of the first quarter with the score, the Eagles 20 and the Cardinals 7. Dick Stockton and Merlin Olsen here at Sun Devil Stadium as we begin the second quarter. Rich Kotite's Eagles leading 20-7, and they have the ball. Second down and 7 on the Cardinal 49. The Eagles have won 3 in a row. They were 3-5 at one point, but they've come back strong. McMahon swings it out on first down to James Joseph. And with none on his ankle, Joseph picks up 6 yards on the play. Cardinals won the first meeting between the teams 26-10, taking advantage of 6 Philadelphia turnovers. But it's been a reversal thus far with 4 turnovers by the Cardinals and the Eagles capitalizing on 3 of them.
James Joseph emerged in that game against the Giants on a Monday night, proving his worth and showing some incredible power. And that's the kind of power running these Eagles are going to lead and need during the late part of this season.
Third down and 2. This time it's Joseph. He's got the first down and more. And he is stopped by Robert Massey. And one of the reasons why the Eagles' running attack has improved, Merlin, after that 14-yard pickup by the rookie, is the offensive line, and they've used a lot of young players. Rob Selby has replaced Ron Solt at right guard, and we know we have the rookie Davis at right tackle.
So you've got 2 rookies on the right-hand side and a couple of old hands on the left-hand side, and Dennis McKnight and Ron Heller, and that's where they went, in behind the veterans. And Heller, who had been put on the shelf early, has been the vet. Davis, by the way, has lost 15 pounds to help him get quicker. Says he really feels that it's helped him to do a better job.
And he's been a lot feistier. First down on the 30, and Joseph sees the hole closes, and the penalty marker is thrown after the play. Tyrone Stowe makes the tackle after a gain of about 3 yards. And we'll have a holding penalty against the Eagles, and that'll set him back.
Holding during the run, number 78 on the offense. 10 yards, still first down.
Well, that's the feisty Antone Davis, the number 1 pick, holding on that call.
Let's look at him. At the right-hand side, second player in, number 78. And one of the things that he can do, obviously, is he knows very well how to run block. Did this, of course, at Tennessee, but you can't hang on. And, of course, that's exactly what he did right there on Jeff Faulkner. Locked up with that hand on the left shoulder, and the officials threw the flag on him.
Right now, the Eagles are out of field goal range. They face a first down and 20 on the 40 of Phoenix. And the give is to Joseph off the left side. And Joseph picks up about 6 yards that time. Robert Massey, the nickelback, and Tyrone Stowe, the linebacker, making the tackle on Joseph, as the Eagles, using both Heath Sherman, Thomas Sanders, Byers, and Joseph, just about every back this season, to try to find the combination.
They have tried to use the backs according to formation. But, of course, if one of those backs gets hot, Richie Kotite is going to make sure that he has them on the field a great deal. What a great job Kotite has done this year, keeping this team so positive through all of those desperate times.
And that's the way they feel about him. Second down and 14, Heath Sherman, the leading rusher on the club, is in there with Byers in the backfield. Quick toss is intercepted. Aeneas Williams. Out of bounds is Aeneas Williams. And they're going to mark it at the 42-yard line. A 31-yard return on the interception by Aeneas Williams, his 4th in his rookie year.
There was confusion in the backfield as 2 of the guards ran together for the Eagles. Watch this, just behind McMahon. The guards go head-to-head on this play. The protection breaks down, and right there, Freddie Joe Nunn is all over McMahon.
Both sides turning the ball over in this first half, and McMahon throws it away.
Right here is going to go out and block on Freddie Joe Nunn, but Selby, the rookie, makes a mistake. He's coming back the other way. Collision in the backfield. Nobody blocks on Freddie Joe, and the quarterback pays for it.
First down, Cardinals on the Eagle 42. And the give is to Anthony Thompson. And a quick burst gets him nearly 5 yards. Making the tackle was Clyde Simmons. Already, Merlin, Stan Gelbaugh has thrown to 7 different receivers, and we still have 11:40 remaining in this first half.
How many does he have? He may be going for a record today. We mentioned that Gelbaugh started out very shakily against the 49ers in the first half last week and came back with a very big second half. So he's certainly capable of shaking off these early dumps and getting back into the ballgame.
Second down and 5, and on the draw play was Thompson. It was Hopkins after Waters got a piece of him. Cardinals with an 11-yard pickup on the draw play with a 4 wide receiver alignment.
Lewis Sharp, number 67, Bernice Smith, number 69, and Bill Lewis. Watch them here as they take on the left side. And on this draw play, you let those people through. And Jerome Brown took himself completely out of that play. So eager for the sack, he didn't even see the draw.
Cardinals threaten, and a first down on the Eagle 27. 20-7, the Eagles lead. A lot of time remaining in the second quarter. Gelbaugh with the toss, and Ricky Prohl is knocked out of bounds. After a pickup of 5 yards, John Booty, who has an interception in the game today, making the stop. There are the scores of games underway now, with the Bears and Seattle and the Jets all leading in their game. Reggie White, one of the great ferocious 4 of the Eagles. Second down and 5 on the 22. Here comes pressure, and Gelbaugh has nowhere to go. And he drops down, and he'll lose about 4 yards, make it 3. Simmons making the stop. Sun Devil Stadium in Tempe, Arizona, where about 35,000 fans are on hand, and many of them are Eagles supporters. 10 minutes remaining in the first half. This is Dick Stockton along with Merlin Olsen. The Eagles looking for their 4th straight win and a 7-5 record to enhance their wild card hopes against the Cardinals, who are locked in a 4-game tailspin of their own. Third down and 8 on the 25 of Philadelphia in a turnover-marked game so far. Here's a safety blitz on Gelbaugh from Hopkins, and Gelbaugh makes the smart play. Not many quarterbacks would, as he got rid of it with pressure on him.
Well, he had both Byron Evans and Wes Hopkins coming at full speed, and he knew better than to hang on to the football, dumped it out to the outside, and Bud Carson doing a great job of getting his defense on field.
Cardinals now setting up a field goal try. Greg Davis. He had his first field goal attempt after 4 games last week. He kicked 4 against the Eagles earlier this year. This is a 43-yard attempt. Jordan is the holder, and this kick is no good. So the Cardinals fail to take advantage of the turnover. And with 9:29 remaining in the second quarter, still Eagles 20, Cardinals 7. Following a missed field goal by Greg Davis, the Eagles taking over on the 25-yard line, leading 20-7, and they have a first down. Jim McMahon. The bad knee and the bad elbow. 3 for 8 on first down. Has some time, and his pass is caught by Fred Barnett despite double coverage. You know, Merlin, on the NFL Today, they talked about the dissatisfaction with the officiating, and I know that you have a plan as far as coaches making the call on replay.
Well, it's not my plan. It was used in the USFL. But what I think you could do is move the responsibility back to the field. Give the coaches maybe 3 challenges. If they think that a bad play has happened, a bad call has taken place, they can challenge. And then if it's not right, if it's not reversed, then they lose one of their timeouts. They don't have any timeouts, they lose 5 yards.
So they have to pick and choose as to when it's advantageous.
You wouldn't have to stop and start so many times during the day.
First down on the 43-yard line after that completed pass to Barnett. And the give is to Keith Byers for a couple, and all of a sudden, tempers flare again.
Ron
Salt and Hill. Eric Hill went at it briefly. That is the second skirmish we've had between these teams in this first half.
Eric Hill was going to go back and get in the huddle with Salt.
For those people who say they should do away with instant replay, I don't think that's practical at all, because even if they were to vote against it, television would show a replay and then fans would say, gee, why don't we have an instant replay chance to reverse it, and they'd want it back.
Dick, I think in the pregame show you got a feeling for the dissatisfaction with the way it's being handled today. But I think there is a possibility that it could be altered slightly and still keep the machinery in place.
Second down and 8. McMahon eluding danger, and he is sacked for the first time today. Lost only 1 yard, and getting the sack was the nose guard, Jim Waller.
Well, and pure and simple, a coverage sack. Watch the coverage take those receivers away from Jim McMahon as he gets them downfield, and we can stop it right there. You get a feeling for how well those receivers are covered. There's really nowhere for McMahon to go. He tries to run, and he gets sacked. Well, and everybody says, is he all right? Is he all right? Yeah, he's all right.
His hair is all right, I know that much. Third down and 9 on the 44. They rush 4, and McMahon's pass is overthrown, intended for Keith Jackson. And that'll bring up 4th down.
You sense McMahon's frustration. Since he was in junior high school, he's made that throw, and it's automatic. But with the bad elbow, not practicing in 3 weeks, he simply overthrew the wide open receiver.
4 for 10 for 53 yards. He has thrown a touchdown pass to Barnett, but 2 interceptions as well. And now Jeff Feagles will be kicking. John Jackson back deep for the Cardinals. And a fine kick by Feagles sends Jackson back to his 6-yard line. And Jackson, if you heard that collision, he's down at the 21-yard line by Robert Drummond. A 50-yard kick by Feagles, and Jackson brought it back 16 yards. Taking a look at the wild card race, and not good news for the Eagles with what happened earlier today, because the Lions, the Cowboys, and the Giants all were victorious. Now Minnesota hurt their chances. Now the Eagles know that only 3 wild card teams will make it. Atlanta will play tonight against New Orleans. So I think the Eagles would have liked to see other results in the early game.
They would have liked a little bit of help.
First down for the Cardinals on their 22-yard line. Anthony Thompson, with a good burst, brings it beyond the 25. Mike Pitts was there to greet him. Gain of 4 yards.
Bud Carson on the sideline came in and took over this defense, the head coach last year at Cleveland, and has done a marvelous job. They're still making the big plays as they have done in the past, but what they're not doing is making the big mistakes. It's a big difference in this defense. It's allowed them to go to number 1. They were way down in the rankings in pass last year. The best in the running game, but not against the passing game.
Well, they're 1-1-1 now across the board. Second down and 6. Gelbaugh pass, and nearly caught and nearly intercepted. Hopkins was trying to wrestle the tight end, Tim Jordan, and Gelbaugh, I'm surprised he got rid of the ball with the Eagles in his face.
He was wearing Mike Golick, and these Eagles alternate those 3 tackles. In fact, Bud Carson says we've got 3 starting tackles, Pitts and Golick and Jerome Brown. They alternate all 3 of them, so you've got fresh legs in there on defense. So very important today.
Third down and 6. 3 wide receivers. The Eagles run 5 on Gelbaugh, including Hopkins. Crossfield pass is caught by Larry Sitters, and he's got a first down. Byron Evans and then Eric Allen. And I don't know how that play worked, because Hopkins came in on a safety blitz with 5 other rushers, and a penalty marker is down as well behind the line of scrimmage.
Outside. Number 48 on the defense.
And it is against the Eagles.
Declined.
Wes Hopkins simply missed the tackle. when you blitz like that, and it's not uncommon. You get a young quarterback who hasn't seen a lot of style and a lot of different defenses, you go after him. That's what the Eagles have done here today. But they missed the tackle and gave him time to connect on that pass.
As a result, a 19-yard pickup and a first down on the Cardinal 45. 6 minutes remaining in the first half. Gelbaugh on the rollout, and his pass is incomplete. He was going for Ricky Prohl, who was double covered, and another penalty marker is down.
This will go against the Cardinals, a holding call that'll move it back 10 yards. And it's apparent that the Eagles have decided they're going to stay in their regular alignment rather than crowding the nose.
Number 85 on the offense. 10 yards, still first down.
Tim Jordan, and a 5-yard penalty. Well, you talk about Gelbaugh and the fact that he doesn't have a lot of NFL experience, hardly any. However, the one thing that Joe Bugle admires about him is that he has led a team to a championship, whatever league it is, the World League title. The London Monarchs have played before 60 and 70,000 fans, so he has been there.
Now, we asked him about that experience, and he said, hey, it's a step up from college, there's no question, but it's not the NFL. But he did have the experience. That's why he's here today.
First down and 20. Gelbaugh looking to get some of it back. And over the top, no flag is down. Randall Hill was defended by Eric Allen. And a clean play by the Eagles secondary, and that will bring up third down.
We talk about timing being so critical. Second down, because of the penalty, they marked it back. Watch the end of this play. Watch Eric Allen right at the last second reach in with that left hand and just slap that football away. You cannot play the ball any more accurately or with better timing than that.
And that's why few teams go over to Eric Allen's side. Second down and 20. Back to the 35 of the Cardinals. On a stagger count, and the handoff is to Thompson. What power. Anthony Thompson going off the left side for 13 yards. Waters and Miano knocked him out of bounds, and they got a good chunk of that 20 back on that play.
We talked about the left-handed snap of Bill Lewis. Watch him bring that ball up. Notice he has to twist it around so it comes up with the same turn that he would get right-handed. Anthony Thompson, a number 2 draft pick last year, took a back seat to Johnny Johnson last year, but he has come on strongly this year.
Third down and 7 on the 48 of the Cardinals. Gelbaugh's pass is caught and dropped and recovered by Centers, and they'll be shy of the first down by 5 yards. And so after all of that, Phoenix will have to kick. Andre Waters was defending on the play. And Rich Camarillo enters the game. And going back deep will be Rod Harris. Cardinals are trying to draw the Eagles offside, and it's a fake, and a pass is overthrown, intended for Zordich, the safety, and he was wide open. It was a good idea, but the pass bomb from Camarillo was overthrown.
That's one of those all-out plays that Joe Bugle talked about, but it didn't make it.
There's the punter, Rich Camarillo, who's upset with himself because he had an open Michael Zordich downfield.
Let's take a peek at it, Dick. Here's Zordich right here, looping out of there on his own, and there's the coverage man, Rich Miano, right there. Watch Zordich break clean. Miano with a couple of steps is late, but the pass is simply overthrown. They missed an opportunity. Pete Rodriguez, special teams coach, I'm sure agonizing, knowing that they got exactly what they wanted and they couldn't capitalize.
Eagles taking over on downs at midfield, first down. leading 20-7 with 4:26 remaining in the first half. Each team has 3 timeouts remaining. Here's James Joseph, trapped by none, penalty marker down, and finally buried by Zordich. There was a fumble after the whistle, but there's a flag down, and it'll be against the Eagles. We have had 6 turnovers in this game, 4 by the Cardinals and 2 by the Eagles, but the Eagles have been able to capitalize on the Cardinals' miscues.
Holding during the run, number 88 of the offense. That penalty is declined. It's second down.
Keith Jackson, the tight end, so a loss of 3 yards.
Loss of 3. Second and 13. And the 47.
Second down and 13. On the draw play, here's Joseph. Showed a lot of that ball. Tim McDonald and Jim Waller on the tackle as he gets to midfield. A gain of 3. Well, on Thanksgiving Day, it'll be the Bears and the Lions. And it all begins with the NFL today at noon Eastern time. These are great rivals, and the Lions enhancing their wild card chances with a victory today. And how did they do it? Look at Barry Sanders' brilliant performance, Merlin.
There's not a better running back in football, and even when they were playing poorly, they always played well on Thanksgiving Day.
Lions are undefeated at home. The Bears have a 5-game winning streak into the Miami game underway now. Third down and 10. McMahon gets away. You can see where McMahon has no mobility and has just been buried by Gatorade, and a penalty marker down on a late hit against Ken Harvey.
Harvey better look out on that sideline as McMahon goes right into the Gatorade. He got Gatorade all over him, and he is furious. I don't blame him. Clearly out of bounds, and Ken Harvey makes a big mistake. I'm surprised that he didn't get ambushed, even though he makes contact before McMahon goes out of bounds. Now that's the Gatorade ban. Let's give Harvey a second look here. Touched McMahon right at the sideline, and it's McMahon's momentum that took him into the Gatorade.
And it's a killer penalty for the Cardinals because it'll give the Eagles a first down. And it was on a play like this earlier this season when McMahon, gingerly trying to get out of bounds, pulled up lame and had to go on injured reserve. He was not hit, but it was a similar play like that going for the sideline.
And there's so much sugar in that Gatorade, they're going to have to put a new jersey on McMahon at halftime. You'd stick to him right now. Couldn't miss him if you were trying to tackle him. He's trying to get it off his hands so he can get back out and pass. You talk about being a proven winner and a veteran quarterback. Amazing. Top winning active percentage quarterbacks. McMahon still third on that list and not far behind Ripon and Montana.
So a first down for the Eagles on the Cardinal 35. They get a new life as a result of the penalty, and here's a reverse. Joseph over to Barnett. And the Cardinals handle it well as Ken Harvey makes sure there's no late hit on that play, but gets Barnett and no gain after all of that fancy reverse.
Jim McMahon. He not only hands it off, not only runs on the last play, he's out there trying to throw a block. Somebody ought to say to McMahon, look, Jim, I know you want to do this, but your body is very important to the future success of this team. Well, there's Harvey, the man who was penalized just moments ago, as you said, Dick, and he was just holding people up on the sideline that time.
Second down and 10. McMahon's got to be a little tired after the last 2 plays. Going to put this one up. Overthrows Barnett. And covering on the play for the Cardinals, Tyrone Stowe.
Man heading to the sideline for a conversation.
The thing about McMahon, is the leadership that he has brought to this Eagle club. They had respect for Buddy Ryan. They have respect for Rich Kotite. But in the clubhouse, in the locker room, Jim McMahon may be the big reason why the Eagles have won 3 in a row and are in this wild card chase.
Hey, he's not only a winner on the field, he wins at dominoes, he wins at the electronic games, and they love him because he shows them special courage every week.
3rd down and 10 out of the shotgun. They rush 4. McMahon's pass is jarred away, and that
is it a reception?
No, it's an incompleted pass. Roy Green, and it was Aeneas Williams who broke it up. Lorenzo Lynch claims that there was a fumble, but the whistle had blown. It was really an incompleted pass. Forget the whistle, and that will bring up 4th down. Fiegels comes on the field. I do not see Ruzek, and it'll be a Philadelphia punt with 2:07 remaining in the first half.
Well, we saw a fake by the punting team for the Cards moments ago. Not a bad place if you want to try one for the Eagles.
John Jackson is standing on the 10.
He's shaking off something. He said, no, we're not going to do it. I don't know what that was. Maybe a run. No, I think they had some kind of play on. And I don't think Fiegels liked the way it looked, and he shook it off. They're going to try and wait now to pick up the yardage. They'll ask the Cardinals, do you want to take the 5 yards, or do you want to make them punt it from this position?
Delay by the offense. The yardage is declined. Still 4th down.
Bears leading the Dolphins 10-3 at halftime. No changes with Seattle and the New York Jets in the late starting games. So Fiegels will kick again at midfield, and he'll be looking to just pop one up. He leads the NFL in most kicks inside the 20-yard line. Gonna try to do it again here. And he's caught at the 1-yard line by Otis Smith, and that's where the Cardinals will begin.
Absolutely perfect.
2-minute warning with 1:59 showing on the clock. Jeff Fiegels with a brilliant punt, and the Cardinals have 99 yards to go. Here's the kick, and you'll see Otis Smith right there on the 1.
Why Otis Smith was allowed to catch that football, as long as no one from the receiving team attempts to catch the ball, this is a legal maneuver. And Otis takes it right on the 1-yard line, and Dave Atkins' special teams have come up with a big play for the Eagles.
Joe Bugel said, I hope we don't have penalties on our special teams. We can't go 90 yards. He's at the 1 right now. 1st down. We've had our 2-minute warning, and the pass batted down by Simmons.
I believe Jerome got it. Simmons just outside of him, but that was big. Right. Jerome looking like one of those volleyball players.
Jerome Brown makes the play.
Jerome in there to slap it down. You can hear this one.
Ooh, got those mitts up there.
Didn't that sound like a spike? Volleyball spike?
Ow. 2nd down and 10. Anthony Thompson brings it out to the 4. I wouldn't want to run or pass or do anything against this great defensive unit starting from my 1-yard line, as Golick and Brown are right there. And that'll bring up 3rd down. And the Eagles calling a timeout. They want another shot offensively, and they'll use another one if they have to. And they will again if they stop the Cardinals here on 3rd down and 7 from the 4-yard line. Anthony Thompson stopped for no gain, and the Eagles call a timeout. They still will have 1. Jerome Brown was the first to meet Thompson, and then Byron Evans. And it'll be 4th down, and the Eagles looking at good field position. Use up another timeout. And coming up on the NFL Today Dockers halftime report, Greg and Terry with all the scores, highlights, and latest information. And I'll tell you what, Terry Bradshaw talking about his injury with Joe Jones years ago, and Steelers played the Browns is one of the more gripping sidebars of the Mike Utley situation today on the NFL Today, I think.
You really had a good feeling of the powerful emotions at work in Detroit, and also of I think an awakening in a lot of players of the true danger and the life-threatening dangers that face them. I don't think they always are aware of that. This brought it right uptight and personal to every one of those players.
It's a good way to put it. Camarillo kicking from the back of the end zone, and Ron Harris calls for the fair catch on the Cardinal 45, but there's a flag down in the end zone. So it's going to be against the Eagles.
But if it's not a 15-yard penalty, it still will not be a first down. If it's a running into the kicker, it's a 5-yard penalty. And it looks like, well, they may call the 15 there.
Scott Kolkowski, that's going to be a big call coming up.
Kolakowski trying to get away from Camarillo, but hits right on his leg.
It's a running in. It should not be a roughing the kicker penalty. But that's only my opinion.
Well, and let's
Doesn't
see,
count
they're moving the sticks. Have the Cardinals refused the penalty, or?
Red Cashin will sort it out.
Running into the kicker, number 57 of the Eagles. It's a 5-yard penalty and still 4th down.
Okay.
You're going to kick it again.
Well, the reason you kick it again is you want to take some more time off the clock, and hopefully you get a better kick. You don't want to give the Eagles good field position. They had excellent field position. Let's see how much yardage they can pick up.
I don't think that Camarillo can kick it any better than that. And they may make a difference of 5 yards is all, but it's still midfield and 1 timeout left. And if the Eagles can get in field goal range, they'll be satisfied with that. They haven't picked up that flag. It's going to be 4th down and 2 at the 9-yard line. At least Camarillo has some room back there now.
Watch out.
Connie Kawai, by the way, is the snapper. Well, Camarillo kicks it better this time. Look at that. Harris at the 35. And a big play by Anthony Edwards on special teams. You never know. The Cardinals are trailing 20-7 by the way this sparse crowd is reacting. But they're behind their club, and it's a 57-yard punt. And the Eagles are set back to their own 35. So indeed, that turned out to be a significant penalty.
Well, it did prove to be a good choice for the Cardinals as they get a much better opportunity to shut down the Eagles, keep them out of field goal range or away from a potential touchdown. This Cardinal defense, Dick, was struggled all of last year, but during this season they have really played good football and often well enough to win. It's the offense that's been letting them down.
They have not played well enough to win. McMahon on 1st down. Sacked for the 2nd time. David Braxton. And a loss of 7 yards. And now it looks like it will take some doing to get the Eagles into field goal range.
Get inside McMahon's head. He's pressured. There's nowhere to go, and now he knows he's going to go down. There's no safe place to get to the ground as Braxton, along with Freddie Joe Nunn, right there to thump him.
And the Cardinals are going to use a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining, with 1:20 remaining in the first half. Picking up on what you just talked about, Merlin, with the Cardinal defense playing well, the Cardinals are very much in this game because after that early flurry of turnovers into points, the Cardinals have played the Eagles even all the way around.
Well, the points have come against the offense, not against the defense, the majority of them.
2nd down and 17, McMahon's pass, and it's intercepted. Lorenzo Lynch will run it in for the touchdown.
There should have been a flag thrown on Lorenzo Lynch there. He was taunting.
is the third defensive touchdown of the game. Lorenzo Lynch with his second interception of the contest. And now 3 turnovers against Philly, 4 against Phoenix. And it is now 20-13. Greg Davis with the extra point. And it is 20-14, and the Eagles' early lead being squandered right here with mistakes and reckless play.
And Jim McMahon with a sense of his frustration. You saw him walking to the sideline shaking his head. This ball gets away from him, slightly overthrown through the hands of the receiver, and it's the Cardinals who get the good bounce this time. That's taunting. You see him holding the football out.
You're right.
And I'm afraid that they got away with one there. Hey, score the touchdown. Spike it if you want. Don't taunt the offense.
You're absolutely right, and you called it when it happened. Not to take anything away from Lynch's outstanding play, but that's the kind of play that forces more fights later on. Jim McMahon with 3 interceptions in this first half, had only thrown 7 all season before this game. So he is way off the mark.
And that's the price you pay when you can't throw the ball in practice and sharpen your timing. Even though McMahon has stood behind the offense to look at the defensive drills, even though he has done his footwork to get his feet right, it's the throwing motion that he couldn't do. And he's had to remember that. And after 3 weeks of not throwing in practice, he's paying a price for it today.
Greg Davis kicking off for the Cardinals. And it'll be Rod Harris, and he'll down it for the touchback. 1:11 remaining in the first half. Eagles have only 1 timeout left as McMahon gets last-minute instructions from Rich Kotite.
And I think you're going to see the ball run here. I think they're just going to keep it safe. A lot of green. Well, 1:11. You've got time here. Let's see what Richie Kotite has decided to do.
You know, Merlin, it was only a few minutes ago that the Cardinals were on their own 1-yard line. The second punt, which was a longer punt than the interception.
Well, they certainly have pulled themselves up by the bootstraps here in the final 2 minutes. And that big interception return puts them right smack dab in the middle of this ball game. And right now they're looking for another turnover.
First down on the 20. You saw McMahon's numbers. They're not good ones. 4 for 13. Give it to Joseph. He picks a couple of yards, and the Cardinals call a timeout. They have 1 left now as they look for the possibility of getting their hands on the ball. Tim McDonald made the tackle on James Joseph. In a wild game, the Eagles led 13-0. Joyner with a fumble recovery for a score. And then Willie Williams, an eligible receiver, normally a guard, caught a touchdown pass from Stan Gelbaugh. Clyde Simmons recovered a fumble in the end zone for a touchdown. And Lorenzo Lynch ran one in from 35 yards out with a pickoff. In a game filled with turnovers, 7 in the game.
Defensive players love to get those points on the board, love to have those opportunities to get their hands on the football. There's been an awful lot of that here today.
Second down and 8. On the Eagle 22. And the handoff is to Joseph again. And the Cardinals will use their last timeout. And that'll bring up third down. Jim Waller, the nose guard, was right there. An inspired effort by the Cardinal defense. When you consider that turnovers have allowed the Eagles most of their scoring in this game.
With a healthy Jim McMahon, you make an entirely different decision with 1:11 to go. you turn him loose. You let him throw the football. But I think Rich Kotite is worried about McMahon's erratic throwing here in this first half. It's cost him 3 interceptions already, cost him the touchdown just moments ago. And I think his thinking is, let's play it conservative here. Let's talk it over at halftime. We've still got the lead, but let's not do something dumb at this moment.
I think that's exactly what Kotite wants to do. And that's his feeling. 3rd down and 6 coming up. Cardinals have no more timeouts.
And Dick, that missed extra point suddenly looks a lot more important than it did earlier in this ball game.
Certainly does. 20-14 the score. 3rd down and 6 for the Eagles. Joseph going outside and is stopped. Cardinals can't call timeout. Eric Swan on the tackle. And now the Eagles will let as much time run off the clock as they can before they kick it away, and then the clock will stop on the changeover. Jeff Fiegels will be kicking, and back deep, John Jackson.
There might even be a few Eagles fans saying, okay, Jeff, catch this one. He did.
And it's an end-over-end kick, and it's Jackson who fumbles the ball and holds onto it with 20 seconds remaining. Cardinals are out of timeouts. 38-yard kick, and they will have the ball at their own 38-yard line.
Well, I don't think you're going to see the Cardinals running the football. The ball is going to be in the air here.
We haven't seen much of that anyway from the Cardinals, but you're right.
Jerry Rome, their offensive coordinator, quite impressed with Gelbach. Said he really does have not a terribly powerful arm, but good timing and a very quick release.
3 wide receivers come out to the right, including the speedy Randall Hill. He's number 81. 4 receivers. And you look at the back, who's an eligible receiver as well. First down, Gelbaugh's pass, and it is intercepted. Yes, it is. And that might have been Wes Hopkins, and it is.
Tapped up in the air by John Booty and laid right into the hands of Wes Hopkins.
Hopkins intercepted 2 against the Bengals last week, and he makes the interception here for the 5th turnover by the Cardinals.
Throwing off the right side, I believe it's Ricky Prohl that he's trying to get the ball to here. It is right there. And Booty steps up, slaps the football, and as the Eagles have done the last couple of weeks, there are a couple of Eagles fighting for it. And John Booty will come up with a tip here, and then Wes Hopkins finishes it off as he scoops it off the hands of Booty.
5th interception of the season by Hopkins, who leads the team.
And Dick, we might look at the end of that one more time. It looked like that ball may have dropped through to the ground. Watch the end of the play. Just the end of the play. Does it touch the ground?
The play is being reviewed.
Well, not possible to see there.
Reviewed by the replay official. The play stands. First down.
There was a slight moment there.
I think you're right.
The ball disappeared.
Nothing conclusive to turn it around. So the Eagles will have the ball with 12 seconds remaining on their 30-yard line. We have had 8 turnovers in this first half, and that will take care of the action. The Eagles at one time led 13-0, and that is the end of the first half here at Sun Devil Stadium in Tempe with the score, the Eagles 20 and the Cardinals 14. Cardinals have really, when you look at it, have dominated the game following the early flurry, and McMahon looks like he's having troubles today.
Dick, I really think that the thing that's hurting Jim McMahon is that so much of what you do is instinctive as a quarterback. And he is the quarterback who has just been able to drop back, and when that receiver is open, the ball is in the air. McMahon does that so well. Well, right now, he hasn't had a chance in 3 weeks to practice that timing. And suddenly the mind is saying, Keith Jackson is open, and the ball is in the air, but it's not going to Keith Jackson. It's either underthrown or overthrown. He has really had accuracy problems here in the first half.
This is a critical second half coming up for the Eagles, because they know that the Giants and the Cowboys were all victorious, as well as the Lions. They're chasing the wild card berth along with the Philadelphia Eagles. And this is a game that the Eagles feel that they needed to win. They've got some tough games coming up against the likes of the Oilers and the Giants and the Redskins. So this is a game they need to get in their back pocket. And right now, I'd say the next 30 minutes could determine the Eagles' season.
They really could. This is a game they must win, I think. And Richie Kotite said it yesterday. If we're going to be a wild card team, we need to get that victory today.
Let's take a look at the numbers of the quarterbacks. And Gelbaugh obviously has thrown a lot more passes than Jim McMahon. He has thrown 24 to 13 for McMahon, who's only 4 for 13. Davis kicking off as we begin the second half, and it's Rod Harris who will down it in the end zone for a touchback, and the Eagles will begin from the 20. So let's see what McMahon brings out here in the second half. He has already thrown 3 interceptions and had only 7 coming into this game.
If for any reason Richie Kotite wishes to take McMahon out, the one plus out of this situation, and it's a strange backside plus, is that Jeff Kemp has had all of the work. You see Kemp standing behind Steve Burkowski, the quarterback coach. He's had all the work in practice the last 3 weeks.
If they take McMahon out in a game that they should win, they're really asking for trouble. James Joseph on first down going up the middle and is tackled by Jeff Faulkner.
But I would have to ask one question. If McMahon continues to throw the ball inaccurately, wouldn't they be better putting Jeff Kemp in? Now, it's a tough question to ask, even though McMahon has thrown a couple of beautiful passes. The touchdown pass to Barnett couldn't have been thrown better. But some of the passes that were easy passes, he has simply thrown inaccurately here in the first half.
So I'm sure Rich will be watching closely, and Kemp as well. Here's Joseph going off the left side, being chased by and knocked out of bounds, and that'll be enough for an Eagles first down, a pickup of 10 yards. Lorenzo Lynch after Eric Hill made first contact with James Joseph.
Well, one of the things you'd like to do right now is go to the running game, obviously. If they can establish some of that running game, take a little of the heat off McMahon, I'm sure that will make their job offensively a whole lot easier. And that's a good way to start here with Joseph picking up the first down.
So far in the game, Joseph has gained 46 yards on 12 carries after picking up 32 against the Bengals a week ago. First down, Eagles on their 34. Opening minutes of the second half. Keeping the ball on the ground to Joseph with a good cut. But coming in was Stowe, who made a fine play defensively in a gain of only 2 yards.
Fritz Shermer talked about Stowe's nose for the football. Came in here from Pittsburgh on Plan B acquisition. Not expected to start, but got a chance because of an injury to Garth Jacks and has really demonstrated that he can play this game. Inside, he just seems to sniff that football and go right after it.
Second down and 8. Each team's offense has scored just 7 points in the game, or a touchdown apiece. And here's Joseph slicing off the left side, breaks a couple of tackles, and has another first down at the 45-yard line. Gain of 9. So McMahon playing ball control to start out this second half. Tim McDonald, the strong safety, after Ron Solt had delivered a good block on the right side.
Well, and they took advantage of Tyrone Stowe. His eagerness on that play, his inexperience brought him upfield, and they trapped him to open up that hole.
Two of the big weapons of the Eagles, Keith Jackson, their tight end, and Keith Byers, who does just about everything as a running back, have been relatively quiet this afternoon. First down on the 45 of Philadelphia. Joseph gets the call and is tripped up. Cardinals rise to Joseph's running.
Angle by Stowe.
Tyrone Stowe making the tackle.
One of the things that Keith Jackson has done better this year is block. But when you have a receiver like this, you need to do more than just block. You want to see him with his hands on the football. You see him there as he turns out on Ken Harvey to keep people off on the backside. And of course, one of the things he's asked to do with an injured McMahon is to help protect his quarterback.
Second down and 9 on the 46. McMahon with a screen pass to Joseph, has blockers in front of him. He has Heller with a good block and another Eagle first down, I believe, depending on where they spot it.
Ooh, and we just got a punch in there from Eric Hill on Ron Heller. Heller had knocked Hill down, and Hill got back up and pushed him down. I think it's true, Dick, of every team that plays in the same division. You develop such a knowledge of the other players, and very often very personal animosities toward the other team.
Shocking result earlier in the day. Dallas ending Philadelphia's 11-game winning streak, ending Washington's 11-game winning streak. New England with another stunner, beating Buffalo, and Detroit rolling all over Minnesota. 7th loss for the Vikings this year. Here's Byers on a counter play, and Byers with a quick opener and a big gain of 15 yards. McDonald and Zordich on the play, and it's been all on the ground for the Eagles to start the second half.
And I've got to believe that in the locker room, Richie Kotite made a simple speech. Hey, the passing game has become very dangerous for us. We have got to run the football. They've come out and very quickly established that they can do it.
Now, what kind of adjustments does Fitzgerald make on the other side?
I think one of the things you start to do is blitz more. I think you start to bring people and take those gaps. And there are some blitzes that are very effective against the running game. Right now, it looks like he's got 9 people up. Everybody right up on the line.
1st and 10 on the Cardinal 29. They rush 5, and McMahon with a pass, and he's got Keith Jackson inside the 5. Touchdown, Eagles. 29 yards. They brought a lot of people, and the blitz on, and McMahon read it and found tight end Keith Jackson. Quiet no more, and the Eagles get the score.
And Shermer is saying, hey, I had to gamble, but against McMahon, who reads defenses so well and who reacts so well. And of course, this reaction, a short, very quick pass. Look how quickly that ball is in the air. And Jackson all by himself. They picked up the blitz and they picked up the touchdown.
Roger Ruzek with Fiegel as the holder. Ruzek has missed 1 extra point today, and that one is good. So a 29-yard touchdown reception, 3rd of the year for Keith Jackson, and the Eagles have upped their lead to 27-14.
Is coming. The linebackers bite right here on the play action, and Keith Jackson just streaks through here all by himself. Nobody home. Michael Zordich will react late, but look how open Jackson is. No one within 15 yards. And then Jackson's speed takes over. Zordich just no match for him as he clamps it into the end zone.
Well, a few weeks ago, Keith Jackson caught a 73-yard touchdown pass against the Giants. He's had 2 scores since then, including today, and it's 27-14. As Ruzek prepares to kick off for the Eagles, and back for Phoenix is Larry Centers and Anthony Edwards. Line drive kick, and it's headed for Centers. And a run back to the 27-yard line. Thanksgiving Day and the NFL are a tradition on CBS, so start your holiday with a black and blue division rivalry as the NFL Central leading Chicago Bears travel to Detroit to take on the Lions. Barry Sanders, who ran for over 200 yards and scored 4 touchdowns today, hopes to keep Detroit perfect at home and keep the Lions in the playoff hunt. Neil Anderson is one of the NFL's best all-round backs, and the Monsters of the Midway try to sweep the season series from the Lions. It all starts at 12 noon with the NFL Today. Anthony Thompson on first down as the Cardinals begin from the 26 is stopped by Jerome Brown after a short gain.
There's Chris Chandler, number 17. Tom Tupa, who was replaced a short time ago, 2 games ago, as the starting quarterback here. Chandler, the feeling is, may be the number 1 backup of the future here for these Cardinals.
Tim Rosenbaugh, of course, injured before the season started, and after a tremendous rookie year in which he took all of the team snaps. 2nd and 9 for Stan Gelbaugh on the 26-yard line.
Going right into the bright sunlight here.
pass is caught by Randall Hill. He couldn't run anywhere with it, and Eric Allen made sure he didn't advance, and a pickup of 5 that time.
Randall Hill dismissed by Don Shula down in Miami, their #1 pick, and Shula said, "You don't fit here, son." But the Cardinals have been very happy to get him. Gave up their #1 pick next year, and their feeling is they'll have him here for part of the season. He'll be in camp, and they would rather have a talented receiver during that time and useful this year and next, and pick one next year.
That's not a bad decision by the Cardinals. 3rd down and 4. Gelbaugh's pass is caught by Randall Hill, and a fine tackle by Hopkins prevented a bigger gain by Hill, a 13-yard pickup. You know, with Hill, Ricky Prohl, and Ernie Jones, the Cardinals have their version of the posse that Bugle had in Washington.
Well, and Hill takes the Ricky Sanders role, or not Ricky Sanders role, but the Gary Clark role, the speedy receiver, the one to open things up deep. He ran right past Eric Allen on that play. Allen expecting help downfield, got it, but not in time.
I think Randall Hill has to learn before he starts waving to the crowd, make sure his team is in the lead.
That's the hot dog image that got him in trouble down in Miami, and especially with Don Shula.
1st and 10 on the 45. Gelbaugh goes deep, and Eric Allen makes the interception for the Eagles. And that is the 6th turnover by the Cardinals. And turnabout is fair play, because that's how many times the Eagles turned it over against the Cardinals the 2nd week of the season.
Stan Gelbaugh running to his left. In order to throw, he's got to set his feet. He never gets the chance to do that, and because of that makes a terrible throw. Watch him throwing off the back foot, well short of his receiver, and intercepted.
Stan Gelbaugh getting a chance to play and a chance to learn.
Well, he learned there are sometimes you better just eat the football and not throw when you can't get position to do so.
James Joseph on 1st down is tackled from behind by Tim McDonald. The Eagles beginning from the 31 with just about 7 minutes now remaining in the 3rd quarter as the Eagles begin to keep the ball on the ground. The running game, 34 yards in the 1st half, already 41 yards here in the 3rd quarter, and that's been the one thing lacking from the Eagles offense in past years. Of course, they had Randall Cunningham's running ability.
Well, with Randall, you didn't need to threaten people with the run, because Randall kept people back there and worried them about the run as much as any solid running game. But a running game now, not only important for these Eagles, but as they go into these last few games, absolutely critical.
Wilson on 2nd and 8. Gets a couple. Jeff Faulkner and Tyrone Stowe. Well, what's it like in the trenches? Merlin played there. He knows what it sounds like, but for the rest of you, let's hear what it sounds like. Sounds ferocious.
That sounds like ouch. It's what it sounds like. I got to tell you, tomorrow, after being hit during the day in the pits, you get hit once, twice on every play. And sometimes you don't even know where those blows are being taken. Ribs, shoulders, legs. It's brutal down there.
3rd down and 6 on the 35-yard line. Cardinals defense rushes 5, and McMahon trying to go to Keith Byers, but right with him was Lorenzo Lynch, and that will bring up 4th down. The Cardinals are doing a terrific job. Fritz Shermer's schemes have worked very well this afternoon.
But one of the people we have not seen as much of as the Eagles did in the first game is Ken Harvey. He was the man that pressured them there. At the beginning of this game, the Eagles told us they really had to control Harvey and Nunn. Did it fairly well in the first half, although both made big plays.
Jeff Beagles gets a high snap and a kick, and Jackson will let it roll, and it'll take a Philadelphia bounce inside the 15. The Cardinals have had very few chances to start in good field position. They have been mired inside, and a 54-yard kick by Beagles puts them in another hole. Why they only have 35,000 today is because they let people like that into the stadium.
I heard Pat O'Brien on the pregame show talking about party animals. Is that what he was talking about, some animals like that?
Merlin In your old age, you've gotten very ornery. 1st and 10 on the 11-yard line, and Gelbaugh with the quick toss has Randall Hill, and a good block by one of the Cardinals, and Hill brings it out to the 30. I'm not sure if it was a receiver or a back, but a big block freed Randall to get 20 yards and a 1st down. Andre Waters made the tackle.
I think it was Seth Joyner knocking Izell Jenkins. I think it was 2 Eagles running together that freed up Randall Hill, and Randall almost got away. It was just a tackle. Watch the collision. Hill will come back inside. Izell Jenkins there, and Seth Joyner knocks him right out of the play. Here's the saving tackle by Wes Hopkins. No, not by Wes Hopkins. Well, anyway, they saved it. Ooh, look out. Clyde Simmons.
Anthony Thompson lost on the play. Loss of 2 yards. Trying to give the Cardinals a little credit for some blocking, but as it turned out, they can thank the Eagles for the largesse there. And now they face 2nd down and long on the 29, 2nd and 12. 27-14 the Eagles with 4:11 remaining in the 3rd quarter. Gelbaugh's pass and intended for Hill, no flag, as Andre Waters and Eric Allen basically was defended. And that will bring up 3rd down. When you fall behind, as the Cardinals are now, and relying a lot on the pass, that's where you can let the game get away from you. And that's what the Cardinals are in danger of doing right now. They know the Eagles can storm in on obvious passing situations. 3rd down and 12 coming up. Gelbaugh being chased, and the pass is caught by Randall Hill, and it is a catch. Randall Hill with a big catch, and he did it right in the face of Izell Jenkins. Hot Dog is putting it mildly. That's a 22-yard gain by Hill.
Izell Jenkins replacing Ben Smith, had been a starter before Ben Smith pushed him aside. Tremendous coverage. You can't cover any tighter than that. In fact, you might even call him for doing something besides covering. He helped Randall Hill catch the football.
Hill has caught 6 passes for 77 yards, and this was his most difficult by far of the game.
Actually stole that football on the way down.
1st down on the 49. The Cardinals have Gelbaugh, and his pass is intercepted. Byron Evans. 4 interceptions by the Eagles, 3 fumble recoveries, 7 turnovers in the game, and that one was thrown right at Byron Evans. That is his 2nd pickoff of the season.
The journeyman quarterback proves it again. A big play and a big mistake.
Against a great defense.
No middle linebacker in the NFL is more involved in pass coverage than number 56, Byron Evans. Perfect position, and he gets his payoff with the interception.
2nd of the year, so interceptions by Booty, Hopkins, Allen, and now Evans, and the Eagles with a 1st down on the Cardinal 48-yard line. McMahon's pass trying to thread the needle, and he hits Keith Jackson. Incomplete now, they rule. Coming into the game, the Eagles were number 1 defensively in the league overall, passing and against the rush. And not many teams have finished the year 1 across the board.
Great football teams represented there. But even the 1983 Bears, or 85 Bears, which were such a dominant team, didn't make that number 1-1-1 ranking. So if they can finish the year with that, they'll take their place among some of the great defenses in NFL history.
2nd down and 10. Handoff is to James Joseph. Doesn't get much, maybe a yard. Under 3 minutes remaining in the 3rd quarter. Eric Hill made the tackle on Joseph.
Dick, the decision earlier in the year by the Eagles to alternate those offensive guards, the young guards in there, and to keep Antone Davis on the field even though he was struggling, are going to pay real dividends in the future. The safe thing would have been to go with the veterans, but they haven't done that. They've said to the two veteran linebackers, Solt and McKnight, we're going to alternate the young rookies in there. And the veterans have become their teachers. It's really been a productive situation.
And when Randall Cunningham comes back next year, they really got a good group going. 3rd down and 8. Roy Green is in motion. He hasn't seen much action against his former club. And this pass intended for Green, incomplete. He wanted an interference call on Aeneas Williams, but won't get it. And that will bring up 4th down.
You saw the umpire reach for his pocket. It was that close, and then he said, nope, it was good timing. It was that close. Let's take a look at it. There's the umpire. You see him left-hand side of your screen. Watch at the end of this play. Watch him reach for his pocket. You see the hand swing back? Well, very, very close.
Jeff Eagles will kick, and Jackson is standing at the 10-yard line. Let's see if he gets another inside the 20. It's headed that way, and it's going to be stopped at the 1-foot line by Otis Smith again. He had caught the ball at the 1 before and does it again, and he's got to get close to a game ball, but now they say that he had a foot in the end zone.
He must have touched the goal line. Remember, you can't even touch the goal line with your foot. It's the feet, not the ball in that situation.
I wonder if they'll review this one, because this is a reviewable play.
Watch the feet now. He's right down the goal line. Now, he had been in the end zone and come back out.
When the kicker went in the end zone, the kicking player came into the end zone with both feet, put 1 foot in the field of play, then touched the ball. That does not reestablish it, so it's a touchback.
Okay.
Red Passion does a good job of explaining and eliminating all doubt, so it'll be a touchback. But once again, the Eagles very nearly pinned the Cardinals back to the 1. He'll start from the 20-yard line. Philadelphia 27 and Phoenix 14. Bud Carson, who has basically not changed much. He says when you got the players, you can let them play straight up and get the results.
Well, it's impressive to me how well they've adjusted to the loss of Ben Smith. Isaiah Jenkins has moved in. He's played well today. And, of course, that adjusts your depth and your nickel packages. And they have had to step in with people who haven't played a lot, and they have done very well, too.
On the field, it's ruled as a touchback because of only 1 foot coming in the field of play. The play is being reviewed.
Well, now they're asking questions, and this is something I would just as soon eliminate. I'd like to see the players or the officials on the field, unless one of the coaches wants to challenge.
Well, and you know, Merlin, you're right. Your idea from the old USFL to have the coaches pick their challenges. No way Rich Kotite would have challenged that particular call with the score the way it is.
Exactly not. Now, that's the kind of thing I'd like to see him say, hey, you've got 3 chances. If you see one you really don't like that makes a difference in the game, challenge.
Anthony Thompson on 1st down gets a yard. Last 3 times the Cardinals have had the ball, Gelbaugh has thrown an interception. So he's been under pressure today. It's been a rough afternoon for the king of the World League of American Football.
Well, only 1 sack on the day, but those 8 hurries, sometimes you're better off to hurry the bad throw, because it's been the hurries that have ended up in the interceptions. And he's been knocked down 3 times on the day. But those 4 interceptions have come out of those 8 hurries.
2nd down and 8. The ball is at the 22. Gelbaugh with another quarterback draw, but that time Clyde Simmons had figured it out, and he gets stopped after a gain of 1. Beautiful late afternoon in the Southwest at Sun Devil Stadium in Tempe, Arizona. Philadelphia Eagles trying to avenge an early season loss to the Cardinals and win their 4th in a row, are in front of the Phoenix club 27-14. We have 56 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. The Eagles very much in the thick of things in the playoff race, needing a win, and that would make their record 7-5. Big Stockton and Merlin Olsen. It'll be 3rd and 7 for the Cardinals. Gelbaugh getting a rush, and it's tipped up and incomplete. That time it was a safety blitz by Wes Hopkins. And it'll bring up 4th down.
This is the same defensive set we've seen earlier. Reggie White is going to come out of there on the stunt as Pitts goes inside. They do a fairly good job of picking it up, but they can't pick up all the bodies. Hopkins all over Gelbaugh, and that ball up in the air and dangerously close to being intercepted again.
So Rich Camarillo will be kicking, and Ron Harris is back. Camarillo's last punt went 57 yards. Gets off another beauty. More of the line drive variety. Harris back to 45. And he is stopped. That was Anthony Edwards getting downfield. 42-yard kick. Well, on Thursday, CBS Sports presents a big Thanksgiving Day clash between the Chicago Bears and the Detroit Lions. Lions won big today, and the Bears are leading Miami. It all begins with the NFL today at noon Eastern time. Pat Summerall and John Madden will be at the Silverdome as the Bears can clinch the Central Division with a victory on Thursday. That's if they go on and beat the Dolphins today. First down, Philadelphia on their 24. They're in the third quarter. Two tight ends. James Joseph gets a good opening and picks up about 6 yards on the play, and that should take care of doings in the third quarter.
One of the frustrations of both of these teams is their inability to run the football more aggressively. And I think part of that you can trace to the mentality of both these teams. They have had to lean so heavily on the passing game in the last few years.
And that's the end of the third quarter with the score: the Eagles 27 and the Cardinals 14. And our coverage will continue after this message from your local station. You are watching the NFL on CBS. And Rob Selby, Antone Davis, Maurice Johnson is the tight end, and James Joseph a running back. Three of them are rookies out of Auburn. Second down and 4, and that'll bring up third and short as Joseph doesn't get much. He now has carried 20 times today. Rest of the team, Merlin has carried only 6, so he has been the workhorse.
And he's the kind of back that can wear you down. Not only tremendous strength, but good eyes, good pick-a-hole eyes, and also a very hard worker. He keeps hammering and hammering and hammering. He's a good fourth quarter control of football back.
Third down and 2. Joseph came in the game as the second leading rusher behind Heath Sherman on the Eagle Club. This time it's Joseph, and he's got the first down. Nailed by Stowe and Zordich. But the Eagles keep possession and a 4-yard pickup.
They're running in behind number 78, Antone Davis, and number 87, Maurice Johnson. Two of the rookies on the right. In fact, the whole right side of that offensive line, either rookies or first-year players, and they do a good job of opening up a very nice hole. First down, James Joseph.
Bears leading 13-6 with about 5 minutes remaining in that game. Denver coming closer to Seattle. First down, Eagles on their 36. Two tight ends. Jackson went in motion. Flip it out to Joseph. Gets to the 40-yard line, and a good block by David Alexander, the center of the Eagles, who was the only offensive lineman to start every game this year.
Talked to Alexander. He said those rookies talk a lot out there. Let's listen to what's happening on the field.
Sounds of football, as impressive as some of the sights a good deal of the time.
I don't think that makes people want to run out on the field and play. I think it has the opposite. Maybe so. Maybe there are a few who want to get banged around like that.
Makes them want to watch, though, I'll tell you that.
Absolutely.
Second down and 5. Everyone up on the line, and Joseph, straight ahead blocking. He is shy of the first down, depending on the spot. Picks up 4 yards. Eric Hill. He'll be...
Here's that young offensive line. Watch Selby here and Antone Davis and of course the center, all of them getting great straight ahead blocks on that last play. Look at that hole open up in there, and then Joseph just drops those shoulders and uses his power to get some nice yardage.
That's Rob Selby, who really had a good block there. He was picked on the 3rd round. Hudson, the other guard at the left side, was an 11th round draft pick. Joseph went at number 7, all out of Auburn. 3rd down and 1 on the 45 of the Eagles, and they go back to Joseph. And he should have the first down as Freddie Joe Nunn meets him head on.
Freddie Joe was a defensive lineman, but they've got him back at linebacker, 6'4", 250 pounds. And Joseph at 222 just nailed him and went ahead, drug him for the first down.
They're going to measure this one, and where they put the ball, it's going to be very close here.
Well, you're going to use your surveyor eyes. I think that ball is going to be about 3 inches short.
I think it's more like 4.
No, that eyes. Well, so much for these old eyes. Forget that one. And Richie Kotite says, hey, don't give me that problem, Merlin. First down, Eagles.
Former head of the Hogs in Washington. 4 and 8.
Been a tough year for Joe Bugel. A tough year.
First down on the 47-yard line. McMahon has Byers and a couple of blockers, but Byers lost his footing. Stowe makes the tackle. Right now, let's check in with Greg Gumbel in New York for an update. Greg?
Well, Dick, the big story of this day, Dallas sends Washington hopes for a perfect season down the drain. Steve Berline on for the injured Troy Aikman, a touchdown pass to Michael Irvin in the 24-21 win. Washington's first loss of the year and their first loss after 11 straight wins at RFK Stadium, Dick.
And by the way, thank you, Greg. That catch by Byers makes it at least 1 reception in 68 consecutive games. It took a while for him to grab this one.
And with Aikman down, the question again that's most important, who's your backup quarterback?
Well, Berline did the job today.
We got 2 here and another one winning the game for the Cowboys today.
2nd and 10, that pass is tipped. It was intended for Joseph. Freddie Joe Nunn got a hand on it. You mentioned backup quarterbacks. Phil Simms had to come in for Jeff Hostetler today, and there's Nunn working on his knee. Looked like he hurt his knee and will leave the game.
A brutal day for the New York Giants as they have about 5 players knocked down in that ball game. I'm sure a great concern for Ray Hadley at this moment about getting a team back on the field next week.
They've got some tough games ahead. The Giants, after Cincinnati, they're going to have to play the Redskins and Eagles.
For that NFC East, Dick, those last few weeks are really going to be telling.
Plus, they've got the Oilers. 3rd down and 10. Here's Keith Byers with a penalty marker down. Byers will have the first down. Several markers are down. Antone Davis was ahead, blocking on the play. Aeneas Williams and Mike Jones making the stop. There were 2 markers thrown, one back of the line of scrimmage.
Well, I think it's a hands to the face thrown back by the quarterback. I don't know what's thrown upfield.
Holding number 78 on the offense at the point of the flag. That penalty is declined. Illegal use of the hands, hands to the face. Number 72 on the offense. That penalty will be enforced. 10 yards, 3rd down.
So the holding call against Antone Davis declined, but David Alexander, they will accept that penalty.
Well, they'll march him back on that one. And with all of those young players on the field, it's the veteran center who makes the mistake here. Number 72. Now watch him as he's working. I believe that's Eric Swan, and you see the hands go right to the face as Swan tries to bull his way right over the top of Selby and Alexander.
3rd down and 20 coming up for the Eagles. We have completed 5 minutes here in the 4th quarter. 27-14 in favor of the Eagles. They have never trailed today. We have had 10 turnovers, 7 of them by the Cardinals. Fake and a flick to Byers. Byers will get the first down. and on the swing pass, Byers will get it to the 41-yard line of the Cardinals and a gain of 22 yards before Mike Jones and Aeneas Williams make the tackle. What a versatile performer Keith Byers is.
And the same play exactly that they ran moments ago that was called back. And here they come right back to it. Get great play again. Watch number 27 come up and try and tackle there. Takes the knee right to the shoulder. That's Jay Taylor. And of course Byers just throwing that big body of his. He's almost 240 pounds and still has excellent speed. Picks up the first down.
And once again, Antone Davis up ahead of the field with a key block. First down on the 41 of the Cardinals. And let's see, a timeout by the Eagles. It'll be Philadelphia's first of the second half. Turnovers, and the Eagles have scored 20 of their 27 points as a result of those turnovers. Rookie James Joseph continues to impress as a running back, and half of the game's touchdowns have been scored by defensive players. It'll be 1st and 10 for the Eagles on the Cardinal 41-yard line. This is a big drive and a big sequence for the Cardinal defense to snuff out the Eagles if they want to stay in this game. Two tight ends and Joseph the running back. And he moves the pile for about 4 yards, and making the tackle finally for the Cardinals is Jim Waller. Right now the Cardinals are 2 touchdowns away from the lead in this game, so they're very much in it. But a field goal here would now change the complexion and make it 3 scores for the Cardinals with time working against them.
Dick, I think the thing that's significant in this second half is the real change of attitude in the way the plays are being called from the Philadelphia sideline. Emphasis, powerful emphasis on the running game and the short passing game, taking the pressure off McMahon's throwing arm. And they have done it very effectively. Quick tosses, little flares out of the backfield, short throws. They're not testing him deep with that throwing arm.
Keeping the Cardinal defense on the field as a result and getting them tired, wearing down. Joseph tries to go outside and is stopped by Ken Harvey, and he'll lose on that play.
Early in the day, Richie Kotite said we've got to run the ball at Ken Harvey because he is not the greatest at handling that pressure. If we let him chase, if we let him rush the passer, then he's really dangerous. But they have really given him fits. You see there the trap coming on him, and he does an excellent job of not only handling the trap block by Selby, but of getting off and making the tackle. Sometimes you decide to run at the wrong guy.
Well, they've looked at the films from the first game when Nunn and Harvey gave McMahon fits. It'll be 3rd down and 6 out of the shotgun with 7:08 remaining in the 4th quarter. Here's the pressure on McMahon going downfield. He was going for Keith Jackson, and it was Lorenzo Lynch defending on the play, and that will bring up a 4th down.
In McMahon's mind, he counted that as a touchdown. You see the frustration? Jackson was open. McMahon missed him with the pass.
Talk about the Cardinal defense getting worn down in the second half. James Joseph has carried the ball 15 times in the second half alone. So Jeff Eagles is aboard, and he will kick. He's had a fine day punting, and John Jackson is deep for the Cardinals. Good kick by Eagles inside the 10-yard line. Now takes a Cardinal bounce and is down by Philadelphia. But in any event, once again, the Cardinals will be hampered by poor field position.
Here's that last pass. As you watch Jackson coming into your screen, look how open he is. That ball overthrown.
They'll get you noticed. And buy the card, the American Express card. Don't leave home without it.
Dick Stockton and Merlin Olsen back here at Phoenix. Cardinals' last 3 possessions have started from their 11, their 20, and now their 13-yard line. Stan Gelbaugh trying to get something going, and the pass is broken up. Mike Pitts was downfield. Ricky Prohl was the intended receiver.
dropping the defensive tackle back into coverage. And Dick, this is the point in a game where you truly miss your veteran quarterback. Joe Bugel has to just say, where is my Tim Rosenbaugh? Because Rosenbaugh, in his rookie season, able to lift this team offensively, able to bring them back in the waning seconds of the game. Gelbaugh has not shown that he can do that, although he did throw a strike against the Giants late in that ball game.
Second down and 10. Gelbaugh's pass is caught by Ernie Jones. He makes a good spin inside and picks up the first down. Andre Waters on the tackle and a gain of 14 yards. Of course, keep in mind, in all due respect, that even if Tim Rosenbaugh was there, he'd have to face the #1 defense in the NFL.
Well, working to the side of the replaced cornerback, Ben Smith, and they're up quickly.
First down on the 27. Here's Gelbaugh overthrowing Randall Hill. And that will bring up second down. I just think it's tough for anyone these days to move the ball against the Philadelphia Eagles, and Gelbaugh has the double whammy of having to play Philadelphia and also being the backup without experience.
No question about that. And one of the things Bud Carson said that I thought was interesting, he said, we are blitzing less and less as the season goes on. The reason we can do that is because we're getting such tremendous pressure from our 4 defensive linemen. And when I can use all of my linebackers and my defensive backs to cover passes, look out.
Second down and 10 with 6:10 remaining in the fourth quarter. Gelbaugh with a fade going back deep, and Randall Hill can't catch up to it. Those are one of those plays that the Cardinals thought might work against the Eagles this afternoon. Izell Jenkins and had help from Rich Miano downfield.
Randall Hill has 4.25 speed. Now that is blinding speed. Izell Jenkins almost stride for stride with him, but that's the separation. You see it right there that you look for in the great receiver, being able to break away from that defensive back.
The Bears and the Dolphins are now tied at 13-13 with under 2 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Third down and 10 and a rollout. Gelbaugh won't get away from Reggie White. Or Mike Pitts for that matter, and that is the second sack of the game by the Eagles, a loss of 9. Joyner had the first one.
Jerome Brown had the sack. And Jerome, number 99, middle of your screen. Watch Jerome as he gets in. He breaks clean. He's got Gelbaugh dead to rights, and he misses it right here. Gelbaugh runs back into traffic. He's not going anywhere against those guys. And Jerome took his helmet off and slammed it on the ground.
They give the credit of the sack to Reggie White, his 11th of the year, tying him with Clyde Simmons for the club lead. Rich Camarillo, high kick, not a long one, and Ron Harris calls for the fair catch at the 45 of the Eagles. So with 5:27 to go, the Cardinal chances are slipping away. They haven't had good field position, and the Eagles haven't given them an inch.
36-yard punt. Eagles first and 10.
Leading the Cardinals 27-14 with 5:27 remaining on a day in which the Redskins were upset by the Cowboys. The Giants won at Tampa Bay. The Lions won in Minnesota. And there were a couple of upsets in the AFC as both the Buffalo Bills and the Houston Oilers were knocked off. Right here, the Eagles have a first down on their 46-yard line. Jim McMahon fires on first down, a yard, and Tyrone Stowe prevented any further damage. Thursday, beginning at noon Eastern time with the NFL Today, it's the Bears and the Lions, an NFC Central battle at the Silverdome. Lions, big winners today over the Minnesota Vikings, put a big crimp in Minnesota's playoff hopes, 34-14, 4 touchdowns for Barry Sanders. Meanwhile, the Bears and the Dolphins locked in a tight game, 13-13 with 37 seconds remaining in that one. Lions are right now a game and a half behind the Bears in that division race. Timeout called by the Cardinals. Each team has 2 remaining.
Patterson. Defensive line has to be getting tired. Patterson carries about 310 pounds out there. Jeff Faulkner, he's about 290. One thing the Phoenix Cardinals have done is to beef up that defensive line. They're playing better in the defensive secondary under Fritz Shermer. They certainly have played courageous football and aggressive football. They don't have the horses up front that they're going to need to stay in the NFL race until they can get their offense back on track.
Two tight ends again, second down and 9. McMahon has a lot of time, and his pass is caught. Barnett, and he is down at about the 9-yard line by Lorenzo Lynch. Fred Barnett, who caught a touchdown pass to begin the scoring this afternoon. And that was good for 44 yards, Merlin.
And after resting Jim McMahon, and I think that's the first long pass we have seen here in the second half. I think the Cardinals trying to sit on the short routes, and McMahon shocks them with this bomb. A well-thrown pass, and Barnett, who is a great leaper, just goes up and pulls it down.
In the first half, the Eagles were exactly even in rushing and passing. They have rushed 6 more times than they passed in the second half. And a first down on the 10, and Byers up the middle. Penalty marker is down, and Byers is tackled at the 2 by Michael Zordich.
Penalty marker down.
And that'll go against the Eagles.
Holding during the run, number 66 on the offense, 10 yards, still first down.
That was Ron Solt, the right guard, holding, and that'll bring the ball back to the 20. For those of you expecting to see 60 minutes, you are watching the NFL on CBS in the game between the Philadelphia Eagles and the Phoenix Cardinals. I'm Dick Stockton along with Merlin Olsen, in our score. The Eagles 27 and the Cardinals 14, and 60 minutes will be seen in its entirety immediately following this game. 4:21 remaining. First down and goal on the 20-yard line for Jim McMahon. Keith Byers running up the middle, gets inside the 15. Jeff Faulkner on the tackle, and Merlin Olsen, a game filled with turnovers, 10 in all, and the Cardinals have turned it over 7 times today.
Of course, those turnovers leading to a whole host of points. We haven't seen a lot of Johnny Johnson late in this ball game. You see the frustration, though, of the Cardinal players. A chance for them to be in this ball game, and they've really given it away with those turnovers.
They will likely to fall to 4-9 on the year, and they'll have a bye next week. A much-needed week off before they duel with the Redskins in a couple of weeks. Second down and goal on the 14. McMahon going for the end zone, and the pass is caught by Barnett, but out of the end zone. Good call by the official there.
Fred Barnett has had to learn the discipline of the wide receiver position. Came to the league with great talent. Came along with a host of rookies that Big Buddy, drafted into the league. And Buddy was sure that this guy was going to be a star, which he has become.
Well, we may look at this thing again as we see Barnett.
Does he have control? Does he have both? No.
No, he doesn't.
No. As you watch the end of that play, you saw the knee come down on the line. He appeared to have 1 foot in and appeared to have the knee on the line before he controlled the football.
Timeout number 2.
The Eagles have called a timeout. You can see the slide. He did not have both feet or knees in bounds. But the Eagles have called a timeout here, and they're left with 1, leading 27-14 with 3:32 remaining, and 60 minutes, of course, will follow this game. The Bears and the Dolphins are tied at 13. Kevin Butler has missed a 50-yard field goal with 3 seconds remaining, so they're likely to go to overtime at Soldier Field. And Seattle defeated Denver 13-10 to tighten up that AFC West. The Raiders will move into a tie for first with the Broncos, and Kansas City upset by Cleveland today, still out of it. They're in 3rd place.
Let's look at the end of that play. I'm sure the Eagles still believing that they may have a chance to get this one reversed. But what you'll see is that the knee that hits on the ground first skids out of bounds before the other knee comes down. And that means that he is out of bounds before he has legally established 2 feet or a foot in a knee or a knee in a knee in bounds.
3rd down and goal on the 14-yard line, so it goes as an incompleted pass. Hand off to Keith Byers. Inside the 10, the 5, and he'll score. The Eagles wrapping it up here in the waning moments. And that is Keith Byers' first touchdown on the ground this season, and it's now a 33-14 Eagles lead.
In the cat and mouse game of calling the play against the defense, the Eagles caught the Cardinals thinking pass, caught them in their nickel set, and ran it right down the gut with Keith Byers.
Roger Ruzek is aboard. He has missed 1 extra point this afternoon. Eagles holding. This kick is perfect. And the score now is 34-14 in favor of the Eagles, who are headed for their 4th straight victory and a 7-5 record. Very much in the wild card hunt, and a lot of the wild card hopefuls victorious today. Right now, we're going to bring you up to date. We're going to send you to our New York studios and Greg Gumbel. Greg?
Well, Dick, perhaps the most outstanding performer of the day today, Barry Sanders of the Lions at the Metrodome, 220 yards and 4 touchdowns. Career high for Sanders. Team records for the Lions, 34-13. They beat the Vikings, and they're preparing for the Chicago Bears here on CBS on Thursday. And the Bears and the Miami Dolphins are tied at 13 in overtime. The Dolphins have received the kickoff in overtime. Dick?
All right, Greg, thank you very much. And let's look at Byers' touchdown.
The young line blocking very well up front, although it's the veteran guards who are in there right now. Excellent block by David Alexander on David Braxton, number 54. Byers started to his left, saw the opening to his right, and then just used his muscle to get into the end zone.
Ruzek will be kicking for the Eagles. Larry Centers and Anthony Edwards are back deep for the Cardinals. Long season for Phoenix. They lost their quarterback, Tim Rosenbaugh, before the season started.
Centers is to receive for Phoenix. Olsen. Set to kick off for Philadelphia.
And the kick is headed into the end zone. It'll be down by Centers for a touchback, and the Cardinals will bring it out to the 20. The Eagles headed for a 7-5 record in their 4th straight win, and looking at the remaining part of their schedule, and that's got to be as tough as any team has down the stretch, Merlin.
There's no question about that. Houston will be angry after their problems today. That's away, on the road against the Giants. And of course, the way the Eagles handled the Giants early in the year, that's going to be a very angry game. And then Dallas and Washington to finish up with. I don't think anybody has a tougher schedule to finish than the Eagles.
I don't think so either. First down, Gelbaugh completes the pass to Ernie Jones, but maybe just a yard that time with Wes Hopkins defending. You've got to give a lot of credit to Rich Kotite, because this team, after winning 3 of its first 4, lost 4 straight games. And at 3-5, we saw them against the 49ers losing badly. He has lifted them up in a big way. 2nd and 8, Gelbaugh's pass, caught by Randall Hill, and he is hit immediately by John Booty. I want to remind our viewers that 60 Minutes is coming up next, except in the Pacific and Mountain time zones. We have 2:35 remaining in this game.
There's no question in my mind that one of the things that Richie Kotite has tried to do in the second half of this game is save Jim McMahon's arm. You saw just 1 deep pass in the second half. Lots of short dump-off passes and lots of running game. I think hoping that he can practice a little bit this next week instead of having to revert to the same problems that he has had of not throwing the ball in practice over the last 3 weeks.
Jerome Brown gets the sack, the 3rd of the game for the Eagles, and a loss of 5 yards. That time, Philadelphia coming into the game with the #1 defensive team in the league overall, offensively and defensively, and only a handful of teams have finished the season that way in NFL history.
As we look at Jerome Brown, we were with Jeff Fisher, a former defensive coordinator of the Eagles when he's out in Los Angeles coordinating that defense, and we asked him, what one player would you bring to this defense if you could steal one from Philadelphia? And I expected him to say Reggie White. He said Jerome Brown. I said, no, not in light of your problems now, because they're really having trouble in the middle of their line. He said, it doesn't matter. I'd want the big man right in the middle. He causes so much havoc, wrecks so much havoc on the defense. He's the guy I'd like to have.
And he's not alone in that. Delbaugh coming back on the field after the Cardinals call a timeout. They have one remaining. I want to remind you, this game is presented by authority of the National Football League, and the CBS telecast is intended for the private use of our audience. Any rebroadcast or other use of this telecast without the express written consent of CBS, the Phoenix Cardinals, the Philadelphia Eagles, and the National Football League is prohibited. 4th down and 11. And the pass is batted down at the line of scrimmage by Reggie White. And the Eagles will take over on downs. Not much the Cardinals could do. They had to go for it on 4th down.
They said there was nothing left but to try and get something going here today. They planned on throwing the playbook at this Philadelphia defense. Well, the Philadelphia defense has responded. And boy, how have they managed to put so many points on the board and shut down this offense for the Cardinals.
And it's not been a potent offense to begin with. And the Eagles headed for their 7th win of the year. And the new quarterback for the Philadelphia Eagles, as Jim McMahon is through for the day, Jeff Kemp. He was picked up after Seattle dropped him about a month ago. And the give is to Heath Sherman, who hasn't seen much action today. David Durson making the tackle, and we'll have our 2-minute warning here at Sun Devil Stadium. So McMahon is finished for the afternoon. He got the job done in his way, with the Eagles leading 34-14. Streisand and Robert Redford? No. Barbara Streisand and Omar Sharif? No. Barbara Streisand and Mike Wallace. How about that? That's tonight on 60 Minutes. That's followed by Murder, She Wrote, and then it's the very best of the Ed Sullivan Show Part 2, including classic performances by the Beatles, Elvis Presley, the Rolling Stone, and others. That's tonight on CBS. 2nd down and 5 on the 14-yard line. In the waning moments of the game, Eagles content to use up the clock. And right now, for an update, let's check in with Greg Gumbel in New York. Greg?
Well, Dick, every divisional leader has lost today at Soldier Field in Chicago. Pete Stoyanovich, 27-yard field goal, 4:11 into overtime, has given Miami a 16-13 victory over the Chicago Bears. Dick?
And Greg, as a result of that loss, the Bears' lead over the Lions in the NFC Central is down to 1 game. And on Thursday, Thanksgiving Day on CBS, the Lions at home will have a chance to go into a tie with the Bears in the division. It all begins at noon Eastern with the NFL Today. 3rd down and 3 with that much time remaining in the game. Heath Sherman, and that will bring up a 4th down. Mike Jones making the tackle for the Cardinals, who defeated the Eagles earlier in the season 26-10. And the Eagles turned the tables this time around.
Got to wonder whether Rich Kotite would elect to go. I think he's just going to run it on 4th down, not even try for the field goal. Just say, go ahead, take all the time you can get off the clock, run this last play, and let's get it over with.
Basically, the Cardinals outmatched today, and you can't blame them against a really great defensive unit.
And McMahon again surprising us, even though he threw inconsistently with some outstanding passes when he did hook up.
That's what they're going to do. They're running into the line. And then they'll turn the ball over. 1st down, 20 seconds to go. Today's game was produced by Richard Zients and directed by Andy J. Kindle. The NFL Today was produced by Eric Mann and directed by Duke Struck. The senior producer of the NFL on CBS is Ed Gorin, and the executive producer is Ted Shaker. The Eagles have won their 4th in a row, and at 7-5 have continued to keep their playoff hopes alive, and the Cardinals have dropped their 5th in a row.
We had the chance to talk to Richie Kotite after he'd lost 4 in a row. Now we have a chance to see him after he's won 4 in a row.
Final score here at Tempe, Arizona, the Eagles 34, the Cardinals 14.